Renowned for its immense wealth, Leslie will be getting a makeover to showcase the understated opulence and elegance characteristic of House Vance. Leslie will be abandoning her cuffed sleeves for a more appropriate pair of long, dark leather gloves. Stunning leather knee-high boots will take place of her old brown calf boots, completing Leslie's more sniper-friendly look. Her brooch will also be replaced with the badge of House Vance. Expect a more mature-looking Leslie, with restyled bangs and eye patch. Her newly added optical sight should help Leslie aim more easily. As for her skills, we're mainly adjusting the casting experience of Leslie's second skill, Tactical Grenade. Statistical data and live observation of players in match combat demonstrated a noticeable delay in the casting of Tactical Grenade, leading to an awkward and frustrating gameplay experience. We're optimizing the skills animation and resolving the before and after cast delays to improve the overall casting process. Moving on to Leslie's first skill, Master of Camouflage. Following a thorough review, we decided to leave the skills mechanics as is. However, we'll be upgrading the visual effects of Leslie's camouflaged state, which promises a more exciting experience for Leslie mains in the battlefield. Finally, let's talk about her ultimate, Deadly Sniper. We're cutting down the interval between two fatal bullets to boost Leslie's burst potential and aggressiveness in matches. Next up, the Holy Blade of House Paxley, Gusion. Gusion's new story highlights the evil god leaving his body, so expect a more trendy and casually styled Gusion with less plate coverage to accentuate his likeness as an assassin. We've also incorporated Eamon's Mana Shards design at the end of Gusion's scarf to reflect the two brothers' reconciliation. Since his debut in the early days of the game, Gusion's popularity on the assassin roster has endured well into the present. Because of this, we've decided to keep his skill kit as is, at least for this update. However, we still feel that we should do something to show our gratitude for your continued love for Gusion. That's why we're bringing Gusion's visuals up to 2022 standards, with a full upgrade of his in-match model and skill effects. We've made sure that these adjustments won't affect his original design, so you'll still be greeted with that familiar face when you meet Gusion in the battlefield after the update. And even though September might be a little too early for Valentine's Day, we're going ahead and revamping the two heroes' Valentine's Day skins in this update. Compared with the original design, we've restyled Gusion's hair and added a few inches to his pants to highlight his elegance. The patterns and decorations have also been modified to better match Leslie's. As for Leslie, we're remodeling her high heels to further emphasize her femme fatale vibe. That's all for the first round of spoilers from this September's Project Next update. We've been hard at work, constantly improving every single hero's skills and visual effects to present you with the best gameplay experience at each stage. We hope you've loved all our improvements so far and are excited for what's to come. Get ready for the new Project Next update dropping soon. See you next time, and until then, we'll be seeing you in the Land of Dawn.
I am Optimus Prime.
No one can outrun Bumblebee!
OSIM.
Police are investigating the disappearance of the citizen. We advise all citizens to exit
I promised her I'll live and fight for the two of us.
I won't fall before killing you, Key.
To SMG, if you're so many lot, you lose. Let's go lower bracket.
Hey Diablo, first blood me right? Playoff, I give you first blood again.
Ram, right? I hope you don't kena first blood again. Sometimes too easy for me, I don't like.
RSG SG, you guys everyday doing TikTok contents, go be a full-time TikToker.
Oh, relax, huh?
And yeah, need tutor or not?
Smelly cat, I'm gonna make your KD smelly.
Zion, I'll kick you out of MPL like how you kick me out of your team.
Angry.
Stella? Oh, is this the retirement home? Joe, what else can you play besides your one-trick leader?
Well, your name is powerful, but your gameplay is weak.
Not bad, not bad.
Reminiscent, your Karina is your signature hero, but I'm a better one.
Evil lousy.
A1, A2, I'll make you E8, F9. Rival, when you guys lose this season again, come and find me for your next season's team name. Slate, the only reason why you win us is because you treat that as warm-up.
Let's go! Who's the EXP lane for Revival?
Who's that?
To Adamir, I'll show you who's the better EXP laner.
Revival. Even after you guys have revived, our players are more known than yours.
JS, when I playing EXP lane, you're still drinking milk.
Okay.
Hey everyone! We launched Project Next Necrokeep back in June. Did you like the new Necrokeep and the 3 revamped heroes? We're back again this time to give you a preview of what's in store for the next Project Next update in September. The upcoming September update will feature 2 more hero revamps. This time we're shining the spotlight on a lethal duo, Leslie and Gusion. Let's dive headfirst into Leslie's revamp. As the adopted daughter of House Vance, a clan renowned for its immense wealth, Leslie will be getting a makeover to showcase the understated opulence and elegance characteristic of House Vance. Leslie will be abandoning her cuffed sleeves for a more appropriate pair of long, dark leather gloves. Stunning leather knee-high boots will take place of her old brown calf boots, completing Leslie's more sniper-friendly look. Her brooch will also be replaced with the badge of House Vance. Expect a more mature-looking Leslie with restyled bangs and eye patch. Her newly added optical sight should help Leslie aim more easily. As for her skills, we're mainly adjusting the casting experience of Leslie's second skill, Tactical Grenade. Statistical data and live observation of players in match combat demonstrated a noticeable delay in the casting of Tactical Grenade, leading to an awkward and frustrating gameplay experience. We're optimizing the skill's animation and resolving the before and after cast delays to improve the overall casting process. Moving on to Leslie's first skill, Master of Camouflage. Following a thorough review, we decided to leave the skill's mechanics as is. However, we'll be upgrading the visual effects of Leslie's camouflaged state which promises a more exciting experience for Leslie mains in the battlefield. Finally, let's talk about her ultimate, Deadly Sniper. We're cutting down the interval between 2 fatal bullets to boost Leslie's burst potential and aggressiveness in matches. Next up, the Holy Blade of House Paxley, Gusion. Gusion's new story highlights the evil god leaving his body, so expect a more trendy and casually styled Gusion with less plate coverage to accentuate his likeness as an assassin. We've also incorporated Eamon's mana shards design at the end of Gusion's scarf to reflect the two brothers' reconciliation. Since his debut in the early days of the game, Gusion's popularity on the assassin roster has endured well into the present. Because of this, we've decided to keep his skill kit as is, at least for this update. However, we still feel that we should do something to show our gratitude for your continued love for Gusion. That's why we're bringing Gusion's visuals up to 2022 standards, with a full upgrade of his in-match model and skill effects. We've made sure that these adjustments won't affect his original design, so you'll still be greeted with that familiar face when you meet Gusion in the battlefield after the update. And even though September might be a little too early for Valentine's Day, we're going ahead and revamping the two heroes' Valentine's Day skins in this update. Compared with the original design, we've restyled Gusion's hair and added a few inches to his pants to highlight his elegance. The patterns and decorations have also been modified to better match Leslie's. As for Leslie, we're remodeling her high heels to further emphasize her femme fatale vibe. That's all for the first round of spoilers from this September's Project Next update. We've been hard at work, constantly improving every single hero's skills and visual effects to present you with the best gameplay experience at each stage. We hope you've loved all our improvements so far and are excited for what's to come. Get ready for the new Project Next update dropping soon. See you next time, and until then, we'll be seeing you in the Land of Dawn.
I am Optimus Prime.
No one can outrun Bumblebee!
OSIM.
Police are investigating the disappearance of the citizens. We advise all citizens to exercise caution and alert the authorities for any suspicious acts of harm.
I promised her I'll live and fight for the two of us.
I won't fall before killing you, Key.
To SMG, give you all so many lot to lose. Just go lower bracket.
Hey, Diablo, first blood me, right? Playoff, until first blood again.
Ram, right? I hope we don't kena first blood again. Sometimes too easy for me, I don't like.
RSG SG, you guys every day doing TikTok contents, go be a full-time TikToker.
Oh, relax, huh?
And yeah, need to turn off.
Smelly cat, I'm gonna make your KD smelly.
Zion, I'll kick you out of MPL like how you kick me out of your team.
Angry.
Stella? Oh, is this the retirement home? Joe, what else can you play besides your one-trick leader?
Well, your name is powerful, but your gameplay is weak.
Not bad.
Listen, your Karina is your signature hero, but I'm a better one.
Evil lousy.
A1, A2, I'll make you E8, F9.
Revival, when you guys lose this season again, come and find me for your next season's team name. Slate, the only reason why you win us is because you treat that as a warm-up.
Let's go!
What's the EXP lane for Revival?
To Adam here, I'll show you who's the better EXP laner.
Revival. Even after you guys have revived, our players are more known than yours.
Jess, when I playing XP lane, you're still drinking milk.
Okay.
Hey everyone! We launched Project Next Necrokeep back in June. Did you like the new Necrokeep and the 3 revamped heroes? We're back again this time to give you a preview of what's in store for the next Project Next update in September. The upcoming September update will feature 2 more hero revamps. This time we're shining the spotlight on a lethal duo, Leslie and Gusion. Let's dive headfirst into Leslie's revamp. As the adopted daughter of House Vance, a clan renowned for its immense wealth, Leslie will be getting a makeover to showcase the understated opulence and elegance characteristic of House Vance. Leslie will be abandoning her cuff sleeves for a more appropriate pair of long, dark leather gloves. Stunning leather knee-high boots will take place of her old brown calf boots, completing Leslie's more sniper-friendly look. Her brooch will also be replaced with the badge of House Vance. Expect a more mature-looking Leslie with restyled bangs and eye patch. Her newly added optical sight should help Leslie aim more easily. As for her skills, we're mainly adjusting the casting experience of Leslie's second skill, Tactical Grenade. Statistical data and live observation of players in match combat demonstrated a noticeable delay in the casting of Tactical Grenade, leading to an awkward and frustrating gameplay experience. We're optimizing the skills animation and resolving the before and after cast delay.
Test. Oh, mine is very loud. Yeah, I'm very loud.
Yeah. You can lower gains.
Blah blah blah.
Welcome, ladies and gentlemen. This is your captain. We are taking a long haul flight from Singapore to LAX Airport.
They've seen the battle. They've seen it rumbling. they come again to witness our gloriousness. Some say it's just a game, but for us, it's an honor to be here. Last season, we almost got there, but we come back to take our dignity. We demand to conquer. We are here to fight back. Time to revamp, resurrect, revival. Prepare yourself. A new threat is coming. A threat that will make you crumble. This is not just a game. It's a glorious battle that lays ahead of you. We are the king, triumphant all over the nation.
We have started with 8 strong, but now all that's left are our top 3. We are finally here on the last day of playoffs for MPL SG Season 4. Today's the day where all towers are demolished, turtle soups were made, lots conscripted to crash into towers and cores shattered. We'll see and end. My name is Cheryl Yao and I'll be your host for this season. Now we are here live at our Tampines Hub for the final 2 matches that will decide it all. To everyone joining us online and our awesome live audience today, thank you so much for tuning in and supporting your favorite teams. Now, if you have any friends excited about MPL SG Season 4, do get them to check us out on all of our streaming platforms such as Twitch, YouTube, Facebook, and even TikTok. And of course, cast your predictions over there as well as who will take the crown here at MPL SG Season 4. We'd love to hear from you. Now, other than that, let's move on straight away into the schedule for playoffs for the day. As you see here on your screens, ladies and gentlemen, we will have 2 amazing matches before we crown our champion today. Now, the lower bracket finals will open the final day of the playoffs, where the winner of that match will be in grand finals. And with that being said, match 1, we will have Slate duking it out with Evil. And this is a best of 5 match. And later on for match 2, which will be starting at 3:30 p.m., that lucky individual and team from match 1 will be going head-to-head against Revival in a best of 7. Wow, what an intense matchup today. Now we are in store for so many games of action-packed events that is about to happen. So I sure hope everyone is excited as I am. Now, moving on to, the lovely details and matchups for day 3. Slate versus Evil, the lower brackets finals, best of 5. First, we have 2 very different teams that will be facing off. Slate Esports will be challenged by the People's Champion Evil. Will we see this match run its entire course? Or Evil will just be another speed bump in the path for Slate's Road of Revenge? That we can only find out. Now, both teams started very differently on both the regular season and in the playoffs. Now, Evil has been riding an unprecedented momentum to come to this point. So will we see an upset in the match today? Let us know in your predictions online. Now, RSG SG will versus the winner of match 9 today in the grand finals, best of 7. The grand finals is the culmination of blood, sweat, tears, and hours of all of our pro players have put in regardless of their result. Now, this is the stage that all players MPL strive for to prove that they are the best in Singapore. So speaking of which, what is on the line today would be the M4. Why? Because today is the day we crown our MPL SG Season 4 champion in the grand finals, and we will will have one team only that will be representing Singapore, going to the M4 in Jakarta to represent Singapore on the international stage and bring glory to Singapore esports. So, right now, we would like to thank our awesome partners and sponsors for making sure that MPL SG Season 4 is possible. So without further ado, MPL SG Season 4 is powered by Moontan Games and Zenway Productions, supported by Frank Bio CBC, OSIP, and TikTok. So without further ado, let's begin Day 3 playoffs with our lower bracket finals. So Team Evil, I know you guys are good, but let me hear you. Oh, go, Evil, go. That's right. And what about my other side? Where are my Slate fans at? Let me hear you guys. Come on, Slate. We can do better. One more time. Where are my Slate fans at? Okay, that's not too bad. But I want to hear from you more when we introduce you the teams, and it's happening right now. So yes, ladies and gentlemen, the magic makers who make plays to counter any team they face, put your hands together for Slate Esports! Right now here from Slate Esports, we have Adamir, Sailor, Gear, JPL, and FMM. Over to your battle stations. Now, next up, the community team who has beaten all rivals to stand in our lower bracket finals today. I want to hear your voices for EVO! Right here from EVO, we have Powerful, Coconut, JS, Melon, and Carrot. All right, boys, over to your battle station. Now, this is match 1 for the final day right here at the playoff seasons. And guys, are you feeling goosebumps? I can literally feel the electricity in the air. So yes, I know our casters are as excited as I am to talk about all about this match 1. So I'm gonna hand my time over to the amazing Kindle Fruit. We have Scrubby Cheeks as well as Churros. Take it away, friends.
Thank you, Cheryl, for that introduction. Once again, my name is Scrubby Cheeks. Here is Churros and Kintofu. Welcome back to MPL Singapore Season 4 Playoffs, day number 3. This is down to the line. This is the final day that we're all going to be here. Very good morning. We hope you are all excited as us to witness today.
Yeah, very good morning to you guys. I mean, I am tired. I was feeling the pressure from yesterday coming in. I mean, we had such an awesome game from both teams, and both teams did what they could, and we're here today. But today is extraordinarily important because this is a battle of not just mental strength, but it's endurance and stamina. How much can they stand to go forward to the grand finals, because this is a best of 5. And I don't know about you guys, but I'm hoping to see a 3-2 today.
Yep, I'm sure you're hoping to see 3-2, you know, with the experience yesterday. Now, if you thought yesterday was tough and it was exciting, today is an even bigger day for sure. Now, we have to talk about the teams, right? EVO against Slate. EVO really evolved throughout the regular season all the way into our playoffs today, and leading them at this. Now they are at like within the top 3, right? I think obviously if you're at this position, you want to go and win it all. And with that, I think we should take a look at the stats for both teams first. Let's see who we are starting out with.
Right, so let's starting off with EVO, and this team is the people's champions, what people want to see going in. And what stands out to me is Powerful, Carrot, and Jaces. These 3 players have been so inexorably important in the formation of EVO and going in and winning up the fight against Revival in the previous season. You have Jaces and Powerful always tackling the backline. I'm not sure if they're going to be using the same strategy, but take a look at all their crew participations. They had 2 perfect games against SMG yesterday, 0 deaths. That was just incredible. In a huge stage like MPL SG Season 4, that is just unheard of. So I'm really looking forward to how they really see and use this strategy forward to a straight slate.
Yeah, for sure. I mean, it's like a new evil that we're seeing yesterday, you know, just steamrolling throughout the game. But of course, we have to take a look, of course, at their opponents, Slate Esports. Kid, walk us through this.
Yep, Slate stats are extremely scary, right? If I'm evil right now, I will be quivering in fear for a bit, right? Slate, a very strong team. We've seen how they performed. The average KD, I mean, FMM, 7.31. This is a number that's extremely high within the entire league itself. You know, FMM, he has done particularly well yesterday. Yesterday when he was playing his 1-1, it was quite insane to see him, you know, just picking RSG SG apart. And now I think he's going to try and do it to Evo again as well. Now, a lot of the focus was on JPL yesterday. He was a monster, an absolute monster yesterday. So I'm hoping to see more of this for today. JPL, you know, it's going to be a long series today. The winner of this match potentially has to play 12 games in total. So, I mean, it's no longer a sprint. It's going to be a marathon. I want to see how these teams duke it out.
Yeah, and I talked about this yesterday. Roams have been so vital in providing space, providing time for their own jungle, their own carry, to sort of like have time to farm up and hit their power spikes. As such, let's take a look at the hit-to-hit. The total damage dealt is pretty much on par, but favoring more towards the side of Slate so far in the entirety of MPL Season 4. Win rate potential, Slate has the upper hand in almost all of it, with KDA as well. First tower rate down, favoring the side of Slate, but objective is pretty much neck and neck, but favoring a little bit more of the side of Evil. And this tells me that, okay, Evil is playing a very heavy dive composition, and they do want to be able to convert these kills into objectives as fast as possible.
Yeah, the thing is, Slate does the same, right? We've seen them time and again take kills and then immediately leverage off that and go on an objective. And we can see very hotly contested picks and bans, quite similar across both teams, especially the Paquito. Now, you can see how intense this match is going to be. And to add to that, the fact that they have met before in the regular season as well. Now, Slate, they were a very, very dominant team throughout the regular season, but it was Evil who took one game off of their hands.
Yeah, I mean, the Titan Slayers, that was what we coined in the previous season, and I'm not sure if they will be able to live up to their name, but let's take a look at the keys to victory for the side of Evil. Ken, tell me what you did.
Right, we have seen Evo play yesterday. I think they definitely need to lock JPL down, right? We have seen JPL is one of the cornerstones for Slate Esports, so he needs to be the one they keep their eye on. He's the one that starts off the plays across the map, so it would be great if they can lock down JPL before the team fight happens. And of course, we have seen Carrot yesterday with his Lolita. I mean, the Numenon Blast, extremely crazy. So they have to play around Carrot, right? Carrot is an integral part of their team. He is the cornerstone for Evo. And of course, the last one is to intercept Slate's rotations. I think the rotations that Slate have are very scary because it always seems that they're going to catch one person, which in this case is JPL, right? But then suddenly the whole team of Slate is going to appear and wreck you. So I think this is critical for them to understand. But more importantly, we need to see as well how should Slate perform.
Yeah, there's two sides of the coin, and let's take a look at the keys to victory of Slate Esports. Definitely respect Evil's aggressiveness during the game. They are a team, or Evil is a team known for speed running through competitions, having made basically the fastest timings to clear out the opponent team, and then give Gear his comfort heroes. Give Gear something that he wants to play. He knows that he's able to perform with them, and be mindful of Carrot's positioning during engagement. And this is something I think we talked about this during backstage, and Carrot has been so phenomenal in trying to set up everything for Powerful. And whenever Powerful dives in, best be sure Carrot is going to be there to block every other engages from the opponent's team. And so this team is, yeah, they are what they are. Everyone on outside, everyone here is going to be thinking, hey, Slate Esports, this is going to be an easy game for them. But we've seen how Evil has improved to all the way from the regular season up till now. I'm just excited. I don't know what to expect, honestly.
Yeah, you don't, because the thing is, like you said, if you just see, okay, Team Evo, you don't know much about them, maybe you'll think Slate might have a good chance, right? But yesterday, their performance against Revival, under 15 minutes, closed out the game so quickly, I believe, as well. And it's just, it's amazing the way that they have transformed over the season from the regular to the playoffs. And I think, Kin, we talked about this off screen, the way that they have been playing. It used to be, powerful was the key focus in a lot of these matches. But right now, it seems like the whole team is stepping up.
That's right. I mean, end of the day, it is a team game. And EVO, I think we talked about this a lot yesterday. EVO is a different team now altogether. They seem to be goofing around, in regular season. But I think it was all a test, a trial to see what can work, right?
Yeah.
But, I think what's important is less of our thoughts. We need to hear what the fans and the audience think, right? So we're going to have our MPL predictor. It's going to flash up on the screen here. Do share your prediction for this match. And you write your most creative comment. I don't know what kind of ideas we can give you, but if you do have the most creative content, the 5 of you will have a choice. Finally, I'm at this side of the screen. You can pick one of these skins here, right, as your prizes. These are worth 749 diamonds. And of course, once the game is done, we'll then announce the winners. You have to include your game ID and server ID as well. Don't worry, like we mentioned yesterday, if you can't find your ID and server ID, we'll give you ours.
Yeah, and I don't know. This predictions is, I mean, the calculations, the math tells me that everything Slate is going to win, but Evil, my heart tells me that they're gonna win. So I really don't know, but I'm just curious about what you guys think.
We're gonna see, right? Rolling up the audience predictions right now across Facebook and YouTube, heavily in Slate's favor. But maybe that's because we saw a lot of Evil fans sitting in the audience as well. So you never know with these things, right? They could be just rooting in person. And if you are at home watching this virtually, remember to put in your predictions, like Kin and Churros mentioned, because you stand a chance to win awesome prizes. I mean, who doesn't want skins?
Yep, exactly. I think there was a lot of fans sitting yesterday. So let's be clear. Let's not have any fans sitting today. What are your choices for the match?
Well, I mean, I voted for Slate.
He said his
definitely,
he's torn.
Yeah,
But your heart
I'm torn.
says
Yeah,
Evil.
the math says Slate.
Okay.
Statistics, KDAs, kill potential, and JPL says it's just Slate is gonna do well in this matchup. But my heart tells me Evil is hungry. They want more. They came out of hibernation. I talked about this yesterday as well. They're like a bear who's not eaten a fresh meal for a couple of months, and then just finally awakened, and they're just gonna pummel at it. And we will not need to wait that longer because we are into the ban and pick
Your
phase.
team is banning.
Right, we're gonna start off with a ban on Faramis, definitely, and as well as the Lolita. It is 2 picks that we have known Evo can make use of brilliantly, and they execute teams with finesse with these 2 picks as well. In response, no Diggy. We have seen how JPL was playing the Diggy yesterday. Extremely useful, extremely painful as well. The time bomb, the time journey, and that human ward, right? As well as getting a kill with his spot with that 105.
I mean, that was unprecedented. That was unexpected. I don't know if you guys remember this, but 105% KDA with that kill from the graveyard. So even in death, he's tanking over to the next game and the next one in stage. So Diggy is off the tables. Akai is going to be off as well. Paquito and Lolita is off. So taking out Carrot and Powerful. So we understand how Slate is going to direct the attention over. But this leaves Valentina open. Do you want to leave Valentina open, giving it to the hands of Sayla, or passing it over to Melon? That is the question, because that might be a priority hero right now. And Julian, in fact, has been played very effectively by Gear during the regular season. We've seen him popping off, as well as having an early power spike at level 3. And once he does that, he's able to get in and out of team fights, set up with the enhanced chains, doing all of that, set up the secondary sort of like engager for the side of Team Slate.
Yep, Dyrov is going to be banned by Carrot. I think that opens up a couple of things, right? The strats that they were using yesterday, Carrot, that he can play a mean Lolita, but he can play a mean Ruby as well. That's one of the heroes that I like to see on Carrot. I think he executes Ruby extremely well. On the other side, for Slate, JPL, we have seen his Franco in the best of 5 series last night. So I think Franco is definitely something they can consider. But they are going to go with the Grok. So I think the draft for this will be quite simple. A Grok, we should be expecting to see an Eve or a Farsa from either one of these teams.
Yeah, I definitely 100% agree with you, because once you have that Grok around, he's able to use his wall, try to zone out members who are able to dive straight. So stopping team fights, stopping even the minion waves, and the Lord engages into your base, so buying a little bit more time. But on the side of Evo, going back to old reliable, Jace is extremely comfortable with the Esmeralda. We've seen that in the statistics earlier today, as well as powerful on the Bauman, really focusing heavily on the objective gaming. And Bauman on powerful is extremely intimidating because of his playstyle. He is able to go into the enemy's jungle to invade early game, and it doesn't matter once he hits level 2, as long as he secures a kill on jungle creeps and gets support from Jace's or Carrot, he's able to just tank through the entire damage.
Yep. Looking at the draft, I think one of the things that matter is that mid battle, right, between Melon as well as Sailor. Sailor gonna help the team secure the Uranus first, and FMM once again back on the 1-1. We have seen how FMM is a monster, pretty much godlike, right, on this 1-1. So the protection that they're offering with the draft so far with the Guardian's Barrier by Grok, as well as the heal factor from Sailor, is going to be very important for him. Because as long as you don't touch FMM, he will wreck you in the fight.
Yeah, I definitely agree with you. And this is what Slate excels in, giving FMM his comfort heroes, and then JPL securing a lot of the early game objectives and the vision control, the jungle control, giving enough space and time for 1-1 to really obtain her core items, obtain her power spikes, and then join into the fight. So this team is known to be very, very patient at that. JPL understands this and gives up a lot of space. But on the other side, Evil, Melon picks up that Valentina, understanding that it's not picked by the side of Slate. So this might be an interesting concept. I am favoring heavily the side of Evil's draft right now. Slate really needs a crowd control capability. I'm not too sure about you, but I think that the Grok's wall charge is reliable too much on the surrounding elements. So let's say you want a Lord fight. You use a wall charge to set up fights for your team within the jungle.
Yep, I definitely agree. I mean, in this case, I do concur with your views on this. I think Slate at this point, while it is just 3 picks, it is very single target focused for the side of Evo. Meaning, 1-1 is the only target that Evo has to place their eyes on. They set their sights on FMM only. Technically, they could ignore this Uranus. They could ignore JPL as well. Bait out the wild charge, get it done, move around the Guardian's Barrier as well. But on the flip side, for Slate, they have to make sure that they care about powerful as well as Melon. The steal, the IMU from Melon is going to be quite critical for them, because it could displace the rest of the players on Slate.
Yeah, and take a look at the second phase of the ban, Gusion being banned out. We know that Gear is very handsy on that Gusion. Slate on the other side bans off that Franco, and Evo answers back with banning out that Eve, understanding that Sailor is going to be a threat, especially in the late game once he gets these heroes that zones out objectives. And Evil's draft just screams to me early game, early game, early game, early game. Every single thing has early game potential as well as insurance into the late game. Extremely tanky. You see Esmeralda, Bauman, and Valentina able to sustain themselves through to the entirety of the late game. And they want to push that late game incredibly early. So like we'll be able to see like probably a 10-minute, 12-minute late game sort of scenario right there. But Slate, understanding that Coconut is still heroless, they're gonna ban out that Bruno.
Yep, exactly. So Bruno and Franco, the last 2 bans on the side of Slate. Evo gonna ban out the Eve as well as the Gusion. So the mage is still open for Slate, which in this case, honestly, I think Farsa would be good for the lineup of Slate. They have quite a lot of protection in the form of Uranus as well as Grok, right? To delay that jump from the side of Evo. Evo gonna respond with Coconut going onto the Melissa. We have seen him play Melissa yesterday as well. My concern is towards the late game. I think Slate has a better late game compared to Evo, because the setup from Evo will be a bit more difficult to execute compared to Slate. If let's say they do have a Farsa pickup on the side of Slate, it would be a nightmare for JCS to kind of figure out who he wants to jump on.
But I mean, we've seen that Valentina is able to steal Farsa's ulti for herself, so zoning out the members. But I think that since Diggy's already banned out, Evo is lacking a extremely crucial role, which is the setup and the engage role. Atlas is still open on the table. It's not being picked up just yet. Oh, wow. Okay. Okay, so the Lunox is getting picked up, one of Sailor's sort of like key heroes that he picks up. So every single hero on the side of Slate does not have an ultimate that is worthy of Melon to steal, but Carrot does pick up that Kufra, which is crucial in denying 1-1 of the jumps. So it's sort of like engage first and go for FMM. FMM, once he's down, the rest of the team of Slate is going to be open for the taking. And with that, we have our draft for game number 1. This will be a best of 5. Man, the draft from both sides seems really unpredictable.
All right, so with this, game 1 of our final day. It is Slate against Evo. Let's get it going, guys. Let us hear you cheer for your team.
A lot is on the line here. These two teams, you have to win this best of 5 or it is the end. And they've made it so far into this tournament, making the top 3 as well. So give your fullest support. We are jumping into the land of dawn for game number 1 between Slate Esports and Team Evo.
Right off the bat, I pretty much favor Evo's draft. I mean, early game kill potential, late game setup and sustain potential, but looking at Slate Esports draft, they are buying a lot of time. And time is what they need. Play it into the late game so that they're able to chip off Evo just bit by bit by bit, especially when you have FMM on a hero that's as comfortable to him as 1-1.
Yeah, and you know, the thing is they really need to hold this out, right? And looking at that last Kufra pick on Evo as well, we haven't seen Kufra in a while. This adds a lot of CC potential, team fighting potential to what they already have on top of what Melon can steal from Grok, say, you know, the wild charge and such. But right now, they're already brawling it out on the bottom side.
Yeah, Lethal Wanderer is being taken down by the side of Slate Esports, and Powerful already starting his rotations into the enemy's jungle. He has not taken the buff, but he's going to try to deny Slate of any farm that they can. Oh, Sailor on the mid side.
Secures that first blood onto Melon. So this is definitely, you know, a big, small win here for Slate, especially in the early game. You talked about how Evo wants the early game. So this is a kind of a chink in their armor here. Looking at the emblems, anything that stands out for you?
Well, pretty much everything would be the same, but Julian basically picks up the Demon Slayer emblem. So he is looking to go a little bit more tanky, a little bit more sustaining potentials right there. But Gear and Hesh Chain onto Coconut, able to get out of that though. Ooh, okay, that was a 2-to-1 engage from the side of Slate onto Coconut. They might have been able to take him down if Gear was a little bit more patient on that. But Melon and Jace's already rotating down to that bottom lane, trying to secure that turtle. So the zone out potential from the side of Evil is impeccable.
Very nice, you know, recognizing that the objective is up and they want to push in their bottom lane as much as possible. Now here, fully zone out of this. It's going to be an easy turtle going the way of Evo. So now the gold lead is, you know, still okay. It's 300 across the two teams. Not much to boast about, but still, how is this looking like?
Ooh, okay. We have a little bit of bush control right here, but Sailor is going to be coming down from the mid side. Okay, there is nothing much left, but okay, the cameraman was pushing a little bit off the camera. I was trying to take a look at the mini-map, but right off the bat, Evil, what stands out to me is their rotations are very, very balanced. They want to go into the EXP lane. They don't want to take any fights. They move up, secure the jungle, secure all the kills, and get Powerful farmed up as fast as he possibly can. This is where Powerful feels the most comfortable. And I want to stress that the first game in this series is very crucial in gaining your confidence through the next couple of games.
For sure, and we seen Powerful yesterday on a lot of his kind of flashy, his Paquito, playing that very, very dominantly, but now shifting a little bit towards more utility with the Akai yesterday and with the Bauman today. Oh, here falls though. Here's the Cyclone Sweep, just to get some health off of Zela, pushes him back into the turret, so they get that mid pressure as well, giving them a bit more space to rotate downwards. They're really focusing on Adamir here, trying to push him down and making sure that the lane does not stay still. The knock-up top side onto FMM, damage coming out, go away to make sure that Coconut is fine to defend against that crossbow of Tang. So at this moment, both of them don't have too much damage, so gonna walk away safe. JS alone here. Right, oh my goodness! The enhanced chains will be able to knock him up and secure that kill. Great one in the pocket of Slate, and now the turtle is spawned, so potentially theirs for the taking this time.
So this will be a fantastic turtle dance for both sides because Powerful knows that he can take it, but we are trying to pull the turtle away from him. Adamir just tries to zone the members of Evil out of the way. Jasis is coming down, but Zela right there for the backup from the flank.
Rhythm's already used here, gonna secure the turtle, and now stunned down in the backline. Evil, they want to press this. They will disengage. JPL though comes from the side, forces the flicker out of Carrot there. So Slate, clean one, manages to get away, and I think they used a lot of ultimates, but it was worth it, right? Because they got the objective.
Yeah, and I want to say that Evil, call it fear, call it respect, but they're not. They're extremely disciplined in this game compared to the previous games that they played so far. Like, coming up against a juggernaut like Slate, what you want to do is not give them easy kills. And that is what Evil is doing precisely. Zela is showing that he's going to be a force to be reckoned with, having early game damage and forcing Melon on this Valentina to be out of his comfort zone. Even this early in the game, this is just 5 minutes, 2 turtles down, 1 for 1 each. This is pretty much neck and neck so far.
Yep, oh, the knock-up onto FMM though. JPL comes in, but it's not enough to save him. He goes down, backside, stunned down. Oh, Evil, they press on, double kill goes away of Powerful. One more makes it 3 for Evil. My goodness, what a great engagement. Off of that, they get the top tier 1 turret.
And with that, Evil just secures themselves back on top. Let's take a look at the itemizations. Bauman, Powerful, already building up that Garden Helmet. First core item up. He's able to dish out damage with the conjunction with the Molten Essence, as well as, let's take a look at the Marksman. How are they faring? Okay, so FMM build up that Corrosion side, already having that slow potential, but hold on a second here.
Adamir in some trouble. He has to back out here, but Carrot gets stunned out in the middle. The burst comes in from FMM, will put him down. JPL trying to get away here. Puppet's not enough to put out the damage, but the turtle is coming up in 5 seconds still. So Slate has successfully gained some space for themselves.
Okay, the first rotations is already down. Evil taking down 1 turret from that top lane. Now Coconut is already rotating with that mid 2 sides. JPL and Gear trying to secure that turtle. It doesn't matter because Powerful is not in the area, and whenever Powerful is not there, Carrot knows that, wait, I shouldn't engage. I should just wait. It doesn't matter if I lose that turtle. It's just a couple of gold. I can just live with it. And now we are pretty much back to the same economy. We want to win team fights. We want to convert them into towers. We just want to take down that core. Neutral objectives, not our main focus. But with that Bauman, with that said, with the Bauman, you should be able to secure as much neutral objectives as you humanely can.
It hasn't been that way so far though, right? 2 to 1 turtle. It's kind of even here. Just 1 up on Slate, and now Evil. They look like they want to engage. The Tyrant's Rage comes in onto FMM. He tries to get away, but the lethal counter will secure him. JPL left a low blown out by Coconut, and now it's Coconut in some trouble. Zela will get the better of him. It's Slate trying to turn this around. 2 for 2. Zela will get put down by Powerful here. So 3 for 2 working out here for Evil.
Powerful is out for blood. Siren's on, and he's ready to hunt. This guy has already 4 kills, mega kill, and he's searching for the next one. Adamir is proving to be too much. The lethal counter tosses him down, but Melon takes out that last hit, sends him to the tombstone.
Yep, he is down. So Adamir, I mean, try to protect the mid tier 1 here. Very, very important for that map control. Gear tries to find some consolation. They are low, chasing down JS, but he's way too fast, especially on that sprint. sprint, so they will be able to get away, and now Slate has to look elsewhere on the map.
Now, Evo is working with their draft, right? This is the early game. It's still pretty much early. We're moving into the mid game real soon, but they are doing what their draft is for, going into the early game and trying to get the skirmishes go in for FMM. They know that he is the main damage dealer, especially for the late game. You don't want to deal with a late game one-on-one. That is just unprecedented, and you're gonna have so much problems. But Sayla is proving to be a problem, and this is where Evo needs to rethink the strategy. Don't go in too much, because whenever you go in, Sayla will pop up anywhere beside you and just go take you down.
You definitely have to be aware of him, right? Because the burst potential coming from Sayla is going to be huge, especially as he starts to build up his items. And that's what it was made for, right? You have the Esmeralda, the Bauman, the Kufra, very, very tanky, but you also need to know that Slate has that damage potential. The damage coming out onto Melon will not be able to get away. Powerful knockup onto him as well. Escapes for now. Carrot comes in, tries to peel JPL down low. Will he get away? No! Powerful does not let him do that. And it's Evil having to disengage from this fight again. Slate pressing down on this mid lane to make sure that they have space for the Lord.
A one-to-one trade, but you're giving up JPL, your core initiator. You give up that turtle dance for the 8 minutes, and now FMM, his positioning is so on point. He's always at the back, chipping off your health one by one, bit by bit by bit. And they do take down that first Lord of the game. Slate Esports is going to be summoning that Lord in just a moment.
Looking at these two teams, you know, it's amazing the way they play. It's so calculated, so disciplined. Yesterday, we saw Evil trying to steamroll the enemies, you know, go as fast, as aggressive as they can, but they look different today as well. You know, they're not going in fights that they shouldn't be taking too much. They're still trying to play around objectives, and right now, it's the top side that they are trying to protect from FMM. Powerful now has to back. Carrot goes in with the Tyrant's Revenge. Will he get it? Sayla jumps in, but will get damage. Has to pop the Brilliance as well. Adamir comes in the back line, forces the flicker out of Evo, and now they isolate Powerful. The only one will be shut down by FMM. And on the bottom side, all this time though, JS just trying to defend the bottom, so it was a numbers disadvantage for Evo.
Wow, okay, their aggressiveness would potentially also be your downfall, because Evo being aggressive in that nature, Carrot going in, but Powerful not in the right position to re-engage back into that Slate fight, caused Slate to win in that team by pushing their net worth up by 2k gold.
Oh no, JS being chased down. Okay, all right. He's still fine, you know, still kind of tanky on this Esmeralda, will get away, but the Lord still in Slate's favor, gonna come down the bottom lane, so top side, bottom side are being pressured down. Slate is trying to play very disciplined, using the objective, capitalizing on that as much to just play as how they've always been, right? Just be careful, be cautious, and they can take this.
Yeah, stay as comfortable as you can. Oh, JPL dashes in.
My goodness, the two-man knockup. Immediately, Evil gets blown up. Carrot, Coconut, they go down. Adamir in the back line will get secured by Powerful, put in the dirt. And now Melon has to be careful. They settle for now. Slate looks like they just want to rotate down to the bottom inhibitor, get that in their back first. So already Props getting the top inhibitor turret for themselves.
The momentum has been shifted. And right now, Slate Esports is riding on that momentum. Every bit they go, every time JPL goes in, they want to secure a kill and objective as a package. It's sort of like a happy meal. You take down one member, you take down a turret. You take down another member, you take down a turret. You chip off as much as you can from whatever you see.
Okay, that was the first Lord, right? So the fact that they've now stripped everything except the inhibitor turrets is still in Slate's favor, trying to gain control of the map. Now, looking at the items, anything that stands out to you?
FMM is ready to hunt. He's locked and loaded, built his guns all up. Take a look at that. The Demon Hunter Sword Corrosion side, as well as the Wind Talker. This guy is going to be sustaining through a lot of the physical damage coming in from the side of Evil. And Melissa, though, on that side, Coconut only has 2 core items, just built the Phantom Scarlet and a defensive item just so he can maintain through the entirety of the team fight. But Coconut needs to really watch his position, stay at the back of the fights, don't engage until Carrot or Powerful is able to tank and dish out that much damage as they can first. Melon just needs to take JPL. But speaking of JPL, he's on that conceal.
Trying to get something from the back just zoning out the members of Evil. The Lord chunked down to half health now. Slate, they want to get this objective, but Evil is not going to let this one go easy. Now, you mentioned earlier that, you know, Coconut does have the Scarlet Phantom available, so 3 items now. He's going all out damage, but he does need to be careful because, yes, he has to go away, but it does not mitigate the damage from the crossbow of Tang if it is dropped on him. Stun onto Evil in the back line. Have to back out. The Guardian's Barrier just to help that. JS pressured by FMM and Adamir as well. Looks like they, you know, just want to brawl it out, poke out both of these opposing teams on either side and see who gets the advantage.
The strategy is clear. Make sure that Carrot doesn't jump you, because when he does, it's going to ruin our entire structure, that what we've built up so far. But Melon jumps in with the wall charge.
Does not quite get it. JS, the whole team of Evil is committing to this. The 2-man knock up onto Coconut and JS as well. Carrot goes down in the back, and now they are splitting the fight apart. JPL has to run, but the rest of Slate, they are on to Evil. The crossbow of Tag will be popped, and 4 members of Evil go down in that fight. Slate, a huge win for them here.
Powerful. Powerful. Just strolling around in the base of Slate Esports. He's unable to go back, but look at Evil's base. Already gear chipping off at that bottom lane turret. They might be looking to end this, but Sailor not being able to make him go back. They're not going to let him go back, but look at the base. Look at the base.
It will be chunked out by Slate. That play, though, forcing Powerful, just going to recall and, you know, taking the base immediately. So objective focused, so clinical, so methodical.
Yeah, that was textbook play from Slate. This is the classic Slate that we know. They want to play it out to the late game. They know that Evil is going to use their aggressiveness against them. So that means that all 5 members are going to be pummeling you one by one by one. But what Slate does so effectively is split up Evil. Split them up so that they're running around like headless chicken, so to speak. I'm just really excited about the next game because right now, Evil needs to know that, hey, you know, Slate has found a chink in my armor. I need to change up what I have. I need to get a new armor. What do I have?
They played that exactly to how they wanted to, the game plan, right? That pick on the Uranus exactly was to do that, split up the team fight and force Evil to respawn. So now they are kind of on the back foot here, 1-0. We're gonna see how they adjust to this, but let's break down what happened in this game. Kin, your thoughts?
Yep, it's a tough one, right? Tough one for Evo fans because I think this was a drafting issue. That was one of the many problems, right? The second one was actually execution error. So the way that Evo has drafted, they needed to get that level advantage. They needed a snowball. And when the early game doesn't happen for them, the insurance was that they had a Valentina who could come up from behind with the passive, right? That didn't work out. And they were taking fights that they could not afford to take. So Slate was very clever in the way that they executed team fights. They always made sure that it was a split fight because when you have FMM who is not under constant pressure from the whole team of Evo, he can pop off, right? He got the marks down, he got the ultimate online as well, and that really destroyed them. Another thing is to take a look at the items. We will be having the items on screen later. I want to talk about FMM's item build as well, right? The fact that they could snowball even with the constant pressure by Evo was something that I guess was a key formula for how they won this match as well. But what do you guys think about the gameplay, right? How was the team fight for you guys?
Well, I mean, this first game was a test where Slate wants to give Evo their comfort heroes. Bauman was picked up by Powerful. Jace's got his Esmeralda. Melon got his signature Valentina, and everything just fell apart for them. So it's sort of like a mental game. They have to reset after this one. But let's take a look at the itemizations. Ken, what do you have for FMM?
Yeah, so FMM, he had the Malefic Roar as well as the Demon Hunter Sword and the Wind of Nature. So he was quite he had a lot of damage and he had the potential to negate a lot of damage as well. If you take a look at the entire lineup, I mean, majority of them had physical damage with the exception of Melon across the team, right? So it was kind of difficult for them to play around that. GS, yes, JC's got that Dominance Ice, so the anti-heal against Lunox as well as Adamir was key, right? But it was not enough because they were behind already. So it was very difficult for them to climb back. And bear in mind, this is all without immortality on any of the team members on the side of Slate.
Yeah.
So if you already falter in the first edition of their builds, it's already a problem, right? You don't get the level advantage, you don't get the gold advantage. you don't win the fights across the objectives, and that is only the first part of the game. Second half, you will have to deal with a lot of these.
And FMM building up that Demon Hunter sword. Understand that Evo is playing a semi-tank role. You got Esmeralda, Kufra, Bauman, they're all very tanky heroes. Demon Hunter sword is able to chip you off. It's able to melt tanks down. It's sort of like a tank melt item. And this means that Evo is unable to tank through enough or long enough for Coconut to come in to deal enough damage. But we are going to be taking at the post-game statistics to see how they fare within damage dealt.
Yeah, pretty close in terms of damage dealt. We're now shy of about 20,000. Yeah, 20,000 by the side of Evo. There was obviously a lot more damage to the tower. Evo actually had the upper hand in the early starting points of the game. They did have the map advantage, right? They took 2 tier 1 turrets top and bottom, and they allowed themselves to kind of roam across the jungle of Slate. But later on, when it came down to the objectives, it was much more difficult for them to execute. Because now, if you take a look at the lineup by Slate, they have 3 characters with iframes. So you have Gear, who can jump away with his ultimate. You have Taylor, who can use the Lunox ultimate to get away as well. And you have FMM, who has access once he has his marks down. There's 3 ultimates that have invincibility frames against Evo. And their lineup, they thrive on long fights. They want the fights to go as long as possible.
Yeah, I want to add that Evo, having powerful being 100% kill participation means that sort of like they are too heavily reliant on powerful tanking through a lot of damage and starting up the fights. Going in as a Belmont, you do not have a heavy crowd control mechanic. So that means to say that you can only target 1 hero at a time. And this might mean that, okay, Slate's going to take advantage of that. Bauman comes in, I'm just going to go straight to your backline. I'm going to split you all the way up. But what is your take? I want to know, who do you think the MVP is?
Well, we're going to see it in just a bit here. You know, the MVP on the side of Slate, it's going to be Gear, the carry. 5-0 and 6. GPM of 798. Kill participation of 73%.
Yeah, building up with the Curse Helmet first and a lot of the other it's a semi-tank Julian, and this is, I think, what works very, very well. And I know, I watch this guy a lot. I always take his item builds and work it for myself, but the child prodigy stays true to his name.
Yep, exactly. The Demon Slayer emblem, you know, allowed him to be a bit more safe with his build, right? The ability to go tank with the Thunder Belt as well. He had access to his Genius Wand, and you know, with that armor reduction, magic armor reduction, as well as the Thunder Belt, you can slow people down with your chains. You can jump in. You can set up for your team. It's really a good build that Gear has done for himself. You know, so Gear, you know, we saw his gameplay on Fanny yesterday, last night, and it was insane. Today, he's showing up with a new hero itself, with Julian. So I think let's take a look at the highlights. We can really see the transition for Slate, right? How did they come up from that advantage that Evo had?
Yeah, and take a look at this. Jace's has always been caught out of position. Gear, and every single time that Slate fights, they're always fighting as a unit, always fighting with 3 members, always coming in. JPL right there. This is the time where sort of like Evo seemingly had the momentum back from Slate. But Slate had 2 easy kills from Sailor, and then Evo sort of like bought that back. But then every single time, pushing it to the late game, they try to use the aggression against them, taking them a little bit too close for comfort, staying too long in their own home, in a home that is not theirs, and then try to convert those into kills and then objectives. So yeah, Slate won the better of it in a lot of these team fights.
Yep. Later on in the mid game, you will see that Powerful was always pushed away, and Carrot fell off the game pretty early. Right, the advantage was lost, and Carrot could not tank for the team with that crew. But the bounce did not do anything, simply because no one used mobility skills when he was bouncing. Right, and that's when everything went haywire for the side of Evo, because the amount of sustain that Adamir has and the amount of CC they have with access from JPL as well as Gear caused a lot of problems. And bear in mind, this is the same strategy that they were using yesterday for both teams. Let's ignore the objective in fights, get the kills first, and then we will secure the objectives for ourselves with ease.
Yeah, and there seems to be a communication breakdown from the side of Evo as well. Every time Carrot goes in, it's sort of like the rest of the team wants to disengage, and then Carrot jumps back in, and the team was like, hey, okay, let's just turn back in the U-turn, and then they know that they can't fight, and then they run away. But what happens when you run away? You're not using your skills, but your enemies are constantly shooting arrows and bombarding you with damage, and you're going to be chipped off a lot. And that causes you to be like a cheese in a shredder. It's like slowly but surely you're going to be finished. But yeah, there seems to be a lot that they need to reset and restore. And I think that Evo knows what they're doing. It almost worked out in their favor. They just need to work in their communication just a little bit more. Understand when Carrot goes, when they want to go in. Carrot can come in later, but understand who is the initiator, the main initiator. Every single time in this game, I always see like Powerful going in, and then Carrot comes in much later, but Powerful is already coming out.
Yeah,
so,
or
like,
sometimes he goes in, but then you need to follow up as well to come out from the team. And Melon, a lot of the times when he's on this Valentina, he also tries to be that initiator, especially when he steals the wild charge from the Grok as well, either to help out the team or to disengage the team. So he's kind of that second person in that sense, but he was shut down a lot during this game. I mean, he was the first blood that went down as well. So I think overall, pretty tough time for Evil, especially when they didn't get that early game momentum.
Yeah, I wanna commend two members from the side of Slate. I mean, FMM, so much time to farm. He brought that late game early once he got that Demon Hunter Sword as well as the Corrosion Scythe. And he has that perfect positioning, always staying at the back lines. I mean, you can see here from the damage dealt to hero, FMM is the highest damage dealt to heroes playing in what he has. But JPL as well, knowing that Carrot is springing up, jumping in as a Kufra, before he's able to do so, wild charges and stops him in his tracks.
Yep, I think the way that Evo has drafted is not wrong, right? I like the concept behind it. It was just to put pressure on Slate and make sure that they had everything going for them from there, right? The snowball strat. But JS, I think JC's had a lot of problems because while he does have the highest damage dealt to hero, there was no backup. Like Scrubby, you were saying about Melon, right, with that Valentina. Yes, we have seen Melon jumping in a lot of times, being that first initiator for the team if it's not Powerful who jumps in first, right? But in this instance, Powerful was always pushed away. He was always in the middle of 4 or 5 Slate players, and at the end, right before the end of the game, it was focused on, Powerful, who wanted to try to get the lethal counter on JPL. It was all a bait, right?
Yeah.
It was just waiting for the wild charge cooldown, and once that happened, it was the perfect scenario. A wild charge into the end of the game.
Yeah, I wanted to say that, like, yesterday, we saw that Evil, and I said that Evil was so meticulous, and like, if they want to chase you down, all 5 of you are going to chase you down and melt you down. But today, they're all over the place. It's like Powerful wants to go for JPL, and then Carrot and Melon are in the back. They're trying to go for FMM, who's trying to chase after them, and everything's just falling apart from Evil. I think it's just a miscommunication play. I mean, early on in the draft phase, I said that Evil won the draft. They had the better draft. They knew what they wanted. They went out and did what they set out to do, but in the end of it, Slate just tore them down bit by bit.
And I think that goes back to the draft, right? Yes, I think Evil had a great game plan in mind, but so did Slate, right?
Yep.
With that Uranus pick, I think there were 2 sides to that.
Yep.
Not only do you help to split up the fights, we saw Adamir come from the back line to zone out as much as possible a lot of the times, but also it keeps the EXP lane stale. It's kind of a stalemate between, Esmeralda and Uranus. So the thing is, when you force JS in that position, he's unable to rotate as much, he's unable to put pressure on a lot of the other lanes, and because of that, they were left to fend for themselves in that sense, right? So it's a bit uncomfortable for them not to be able to get that going.
Yeah, I think it's really about the teamwork that they need to explore, right? Yeah, they do kind of seem disoriented. Maybe it's the start of the day, we don't know, right? Maybe their fans can help them out as well. We know the Evo fans are really, really strong in their shoutings, in their cheers and stuff like that. So yeah, it's just one game. This is a best of 5 series. Yep. Sure, you may not have had the best start, but doesn't mean you can't finish strong. Right?
I mean, we said today is about a marathon. It is not a sprint, and this is only the beginning. This is like the first 100 meters of the marathon, probably, right? So Evo, they're also just getting started. Same for Slate. You never know what might happen in this best of 5 series. It's so tiring, If you think about what they have to do today, not only do they have to win this best of 5, you have a break, and then you have to win a best of 7.
Yeah, and it matters like how long you play, because like if the next game goes on for like 20 minutes and then 30 minutes and then another 20 minutes, it's gonna just drag on and the break becomes shorter and shorter into the next game, because the next game is gonna be 4 p.m. at our Tampines Hub. Do come down and join us if you're around the area, because we want your support, we want your cheer. Yesterday we broke the limit of around 16,000 or 20,000.
We reached 20,000.
20,000 and like collectively over through Facebook, YouTube, I think it was Twitch and TikTok as well. So
concurrent viewers.
Come down, and even when you're down here, just go in and to your phone and add one more. Go to your bots and just watch this match, because MPL SG Season 4 has been phenomenal so far. Yesterday was so intense. I mean, this first match of the day was already so intense.
Yep. Now, let's get started on the second games.
Yep.
I want to think that, you know, Evo needs to draft a bit more insurance for the late game. I think this Game 1 draft didn't have enough insurance on the late game side. Perhaps that was one of the things they will need to consider for this game.
Well, I beg to differ, because a lot of the times when Evo picks up a sustain or tank hero like Bauman as well, they do have late game insurance as well. But the fact of the matter is that they are too aggressive in the communication play.
Yep, so we're going to start off the bans. Standard bans again, it's going to be a Faramis and a Balmon this time. Balmon, of course, banned by Evo, and Faramis banned by the Slate lineup. Now, the question is, I think the focus of the bans, at least from the side of Slate, was really focused on Carrot, right? No Lolita, no Diggy now from the side of Evo. And I think they identified that Carrot is the cornerstone of Evo as well. If Carrot does not come online with the saves, Evo tends to crumble apart.
I 100% agree with you. 100% agree with you on that, because just now giving Carrot the Kufro and understanding that in the previous games during the regular season they were playing with Slate Esports, and his Kufro was always jumping into the fray and out of timing with out of sync with the rest of Team Evo. So you need to really get Carrot something that he's very comfortable with playing, a tank hero that is able to set up. I said before, Atlas was a viable option, especially going through to the late game. But an ode to respect to FMM, they banned out that 1-1.
Yes, definitely. I do not want to see a 1-1 if I'm an Evo fan as well. I mean, FMM, we know what FMM can do with 1-1, and they have been punished for it, right? How dare you allow FMM to get his 1-1, especially in a best of 5 series. Now, the final bans will be a Paquito as well as the Archive from the side of Slate before we go into the first picks of Team Evo. Archive as well, we know that Heavy Spin. Heavy Spin, I think, I forgot which team was using Archive yesterday. If I'm not wrong, it should be Evo. And Evo actually used the Archive right to perfection. They really made full use of that Heavy Spin to lock down the members of Revival. And Paquito as well. We know both sides can play Paquito really well. We have Adamir masterclass on that Paquito. And of course, we have Carrot, who does sometimes, and Jace's as well. The two of them performing up to, you know, God tier standards with that Paquito pick as well.
And speaking of the first pick, I mean, Valentina is still wide open. They are going to be snatching that up off the way. So then this leaves Slate with like, okay, we need to really watch our heroes. But I want to commend Sailor again, because this guy is always doing a lot of damage early game. And this leaves that Melon is separated from a lot of the farm that he's supposed to get. Valentina with the passive, you're supposed to outscale, out-level your opponents easily. Just easily. As long as you're above the levels, your sustain coming in from the passive is able to heal you back up for every damage you do. Just build pure physical damage. But Sailor's making it so hard for Melon to even do so. It's not down to like what heroes you pick, but how you play them. And Sailor has done phenomenally well. FMM picks up that Claude. Dairoth is being picked up by Adamir, and Powerful goes back to his reliable Ammon.
Amon for Evo. Now we have seen, you know, we have to say an amen to that, because this is going to be another God tier play by Evo. And this time, Slate releases that Lolita, and straight away they're going to snap it up, because we know how much Carrot can play with this Lolita, with that Luminon Blast and Luminon Flicker Blast. It's going to be crazy, right? And as well with Powerful, as long as he gets the 12 stacks, it's going to be a very painful experience for either one of the members on the side of Slate. FMM and Sailor in particular. I think at this point, it might be contradictory to the keys to victory that we talked about, but I was thinking they could ignore JPL altogether and just get FMM down in the first place.
Right. Because JPL there is just a distraction. You don't want to be distracted by JPL. He's over there. He's not going to deal that much damage. He's just going to set me up. And you just want to ignore him. But Sailor goes to his comfort hero, his spirit animal.
Yeah.
The Kagura.
It's going to be a difficult one. Slate, we have all seen, right? Slate fans, you guys know what this Sailor Kagura can do. We have seen, it's really like 5 times masterclass on the side of Slate, 5 times masterclass on the side of Evo.
Yeah.
So,
Everybody's just picking comfort heroes right now. And
when
the
the
second
body
phase of the ban,
suffers,
it's so hard because
your team is
Evo does have the EXP lane open as well as the marksman. Slate already picked up the marksman, so opening up the core position as well as the roam position. But Slate is a little bit more flexible, picking up that Dairoth. You can play him in the EXP lane or the core position. We did see Dairoth being played pretty well in the core in the jungle because of the fact that he scales very fast in the game.
They're going to ban out the Alice on the side of Evo. So far, I'm liking the bans on the side of Slate as well. Benedetta as well as Bruno. Now, it might not seem that straightforward, but on the side of Slate, I'm really liking the burst potential from them, right? You have Sailor, you have FMM. These two heroes are very mobile. They can get into your backlines within a snap of a finger, and that can really just destroy Melon as well as Coconut if it's necessary. So I think Carrot has a very tough job to do in this game, as well as Powerful. Powerful needs to look for FMM at least. #1 prior target, right? He needs to get rid of FMM in every fight. Carrot needs to make sure that he lands not only the perfect stun, he also needs to make sure that he soaks up damage from both FMM and Sailor, which is going to be a very tough job to do because Sailor, when he jumps in with a potential 2-man stun, it might kind of disconfigure everything that Evo has in mind.
Yeah, and I was going to say Brock was open, but JPL does decide to go out with that Rafaela, trying to sustain his way through to the rest of the team fight. Rafaela is known to be a very late game carry, or not carry, but support.
Yes.
Late game healing support is able to sustain a lot. So Gear, what pairs well with a sustained support is a really tanky tank. And Gear, we've seen his Thamus yesterday in the game against RSG, and they're so hard to take down. Going back to Oat Reliable, he will pick up the Barrage, but on the other side, Evo goes back to the Fredrin and the Clint coming in. They are really, coming out from this, not understanding how they play it and their strategy to ban. It's all about crowd control. They don't want to get controlled and get the stunts onto them.
Yep, so right now it is game 2 between Slate Esports and Evo. Let's get it going, guys. Round 2, who's gonna take it?
You can hear the crowds cheering in the background now. This is game number 2, Evo and Slate. Churros, thoughts on this?
It's hard because I like Slate's draft because it's very UBE, the
Ultimate bonding experience.
Yeah, it's very UBE that I'm very used to seeing in MPL Philippines, where Blacklist
5 seconds
sort of
till
coined
the
that
enemy
meta.
reaches the
but they don't have a lot
Smash
of
them.
crowd control, which is what could potentially tear Evo down. But then
to
on the other
Mobile
side,
Legends.
Evo only has Melon, who is able to absorb a lot of the ultimates that you have. So don't give Melon the setup potential, because if you do, then you have to deal with Carrot and you have to deal with Melon.
And they have drafted that way as well. There's not a lot that, Melon can steal in this case, so they drafted around the Valentina. Now, we are already game number 2 between Evo and Slate. This is going to be an intense one. You can see Evo, it's their game to kind of come back from this and prove themselves here.
A little bit more of the passive approach from Evo. They want to get Powerful to his power spikes up. Get his ultimate. The first team to get immortality to wins because you are able to have, you need to kill them 2 times to be able to survive through the entirety of the team fight. So it's sustain, sustain, sustain. JPL Adamir almost taking down Jace's, but Carrot and Powerful is at the side. The Chivalry is coming in. Doesn't seem that they want to engage. And Powerful, he's playing it smart. He knows his power spikes and he knows when he wants to go in.
This is what they're doing again, right? Pressure down JS in the EXP lane, especially with that giraffe pick. They're just getting, not only getting some gold off of that, but you prevent him from rotating to the other lanes to exert more pressure. So Slate, we're going to see how they might take advantage of that. And we know that they're going to continue doing this, especially in the mid lane as well, to set up for this next turtle on the top side in 10 seconds.
It kind of seems that Slate is in a better position to take this because Powerful is nowhere to be seen right now. But if Evil wants to contest for this, I mean, Powerful, he does have the mobility to try to chase this down.
Yeah, I mean, for sure. We've seen him play on this Amon as well, you know, the ability to gank. He's rotating up top now. Maybe want to contest, but he's going to give it away to Gear. I think the way that Powerful has been playing Amon, you know, really being able to find the farm that he needs before he starts to look for the kills. And the moment he pops off with those kills, getting that snowball in is when he really starts to show.
A very different side of Evil. Even in the neutral objectives, they have been known to be extremely aggressive and trying to take them all the way out. And it's super different than what we've seen in the previous games because they are just focusing on their own jungle. They just want to farm up. They don't need to fight this. Don't take fights that you can't get. I say this a lot. And right now, Adamir, let's go in, get first blood of Powerful.
Oh, then you try to press it on a little bit more, but they're just gonna, you know, disengage. They got what they wanted. Sela goes in the back line. Bursts down Carrot here. Slate, they drop JBL though. JS chasing down. The CC comes out onto Gear. One more hit. Melon flickers in. Gets caught by Adamir here. Will force them to back off. JS tries to knock up Sela. Will be able to get away. I wasn't expecting that brawl there in the mid, but taking a look across the emblems here.
Oh, okay. The emblems, nothing really speaks out to me except the Amon having the mystery shop. Just going out with that and Avarice on the Claw. Just bringing that late game early. It's always about bringing that late game earlier. Your late game can come in at 8 minutes once you have at least 3 core items and your power spikes is hit. But what Slate did right there and then was just spectacular. What they did was just pick off Evil. You just pick off one person at a time. Just try to play a mental game. Get Powerful down and then just scale forward. Maintain the momentum and start continue the fights. You do have a lot of burst potential coming in from Sailor already.
Yeah, I think it's very different plays for these two junglers. Right? Powerful with the magic shot. He just wants to get online as quickly as possible, having that penetration talent as well to help him do that and get the kills. Whereas for here, picking up that Demon Slayer with the cooldowns, being able to do more damage to these objectives, to these jungle buffs, and securing them for the team. So it's kind of, you know, more utility, more support in that sense. And again, they're going to do exactly that, rotate up to the turtle and try to secure this one for themselves.
With a Barats though, it's very difficult to contest for any neutral objective because the Barats has a lot of deep damage. I mean, then again, this patch, Retribution or the jungle damage to creeps in the jungle, it scales up by the amount of HP that you have. That's why a lot of people opt to build tank. And Barats is just one of the most effective heroes that you can afford.
And not just that, because if you can spot someone out, maybe you know, at the jungle camp, if you want to isolate someone, Powerful maybe at an objective, you might be able to use the Detona's Welcome, pull him out of the fight to ensure he doesn't get the objective as well. Now, they're going to go ahead to contest even more and strip Evil out of their farm here, contesting the red buff. Looks like it's going to go the way of Slate here, and they want to press the advantage onto Carrot. Bursts down Powerful, the Blazing Duet comes out onto Melon. Does not do enough damage just yet, but Slate, huge wins for them here.
Oh, the tables have turned. Slate is now using the highly aggressive strategy, going in and taking in the jungles all there. Vladimir almost missing, hitting the Abysm strike onto Jesus. He almost fell down left, right, and center. And Slate is just maintaining that pressure. You look at the map, look at the mini-map. Nothing of Slate's jungle is touched. Every single time Gear wants to go for a neutral objective is always in the jungles of Evil. And Powerful, he has nothing. Take a look at the levels. Gear is 2 levels ahead of Powerful.
Looking at the items as well, right? Already FMM securing that Demon Hunter's sword for himself. Has the steel leg plates as well for some defense. On the flip side, Coconut is just trying to build up to his first item. So you can see, even though he's supposed to have he's supposed to need more time, FMM, in the bottom side to scale up, he's able to get a lot more farm and even out this lane. So it's already a win for them. And Slate is relentless on this jungle pressure again, pulling this away from Powerful. The Retry goes down. Oh my goodness, Powerful loses the buff, but the Lumina Flash comes in to stun out 3, prevents the backup from here, and he goes down. But they trade out here. 1.2 JS is put in a coffin as well. Big win for Slate.
And all the time they're doing that, FMM just happily farming down bottom lane. He doesn't have to join in the team fight. You can fight a 4-man because with the Barats and JPL playing as the Rafaela, you have 2. And FMM on the bottom lane takes down Coconut.
1v1, that's a one-on-one duel, and he wins that. This is insane. This is insane, right? You have the Diroth winning the lane, you have the Barats winning the jungle, and now even the Claw that's supposed to be the losing lane, in theory, is winning. So Slate all across the map, full pressure. Sailor goes in with the yin-yang overturn, will damage Melon, 1 sliver of health left. Slate does not choose to finish it up. The objective is up, so they want to make sure that they play the disciplined approach.
Very disciplined indeed, a very held-back approach, very reserved, and hey, I don't need to get that kill, let's just get the neutral objectives and get out. And Slate just performing extremely well, just staying in the opponent's jungles and taking out everything that is powerful, and knowing that Amon is battling up against the Barats, and Barats paired up with JPL, I mean, with, not JPL, but Rafaela is just, it's just times 2 a person.
You don't die.
You don't die. You don't need to.
Yeah, I mean, it's hard, right? Because JPL, you have that Holy Healing, you also have the Holy Baptism to prevent engages and make sure they're CC'd down. Once again, for the 99th time, Gear gets the buff off of Powerful, so that purple going the way of Slate once again. And Evil, they've just been compressed into this bottom side of the map for the entirety of this game so far. It's so hard to watch.
Oh, and the network just increases speed, favoring the side of Slate, 6k gold ahead. But take a look at the damage as well. Gear having a happy time just farming up. Level 12, 3 levels ahead of where Powerful is, and Powerful not having a good time in this game. 0-3-2 so far.
This feels like it's, you know, a candle burning, except the candle has 2 wicks on it. It's slowly burning, but it's at an accelerated pace, and it feels like almost certain death. That eventually it's just going to burn down to the ground for Evil. So they have to find some way back into this, but GPL going in the back line, just zoning out Evil, trying to take this tier 1 mid turret here at the man. Oh man, Powerful again, just chunked down on the bottom side. Slate clearing control of all the turrets now, except the tier 2 mid turret.
And time is ticking. Time is not on Evil's side. Evil, their draft is supposed to be able to snowball into the late game, and Powerful with Amon isn't able to do any damage at all, especially to Adamir. You see that small skill bubble there. Powerful just needs to use the blade shards just to get away from that. But Slate just maintaining that pressure, maintaining that momentum. They're just going in. The confidence is high. And yet again, going in, trying to get the purple buff away from Powerful.
I mean, it's looking really tough, right? And you said Powerful trying to get that snowball in, but so far he has not been able to, in the early parts of the game, get any kills. If you look at the draft of Slate, he can maybe gank Sailor, maybe FMM in the early game, right? If you wanted to pull out a burst composition. But FMM was playing so safely, recognizing that Powerful might be lurking around in that jungle as well, and he couldn't pull that off. Now he's just falling back again. Adamir getting that one Numenon blast onto JPL, but to what end is not going to be able to do it. FMM with the blazing duet gets the damage, will flicker out. Seems like he's safe for now. JPL takes the hit instead. So 2 down, double kill for Melon, and FMM, he's trying to turn this back around. The damage comes through. They will put down 3 members of Evil. They get the Lord along with that as well. So Slate again being able to get the upper hand.
Slate just extending extend their lead over and over and over again. Just time is on their side. It's just I said before in the drafting phase, their draft is very, very late game. Late game insurance in the Rafaela, late game insurance in the Claude with the late game, which is right now, it's basically they can't die. And you have so much mobility, you can't hit them.
I mean, Gear's just going to keep building items, keep building stacks. So more and more as it progresses, you're not going to be able to touch him. And he's doing a lot of the front lining so far. I mean, earlier on, you know, they were trying to take the objective, so pressuring down the mid turret and hence lost some lives there. But Evil, they're really pressed with their backs to the wall here.
Lord marching down onto the top side. Seems as though Gear is trying to set up with a push. But they managed to kill out that Lord. Slate, very disciplined. Sailor used that yin yang overturn, but does not want to engage right now.
Yeah, they're just going down on the turrets, right? You want the objectives, damaging the inhibitors, trying to take that down, but all this time, Sailor putting out the umbrellas, you know, just making sure it's the threat. It's the threat of that burst damage coming in as well.
It's just Sailor. You can't outdraft him. You can ban him. He plays all this mage so well. Arguably
you can't
one of the best.
out-Kagura him.
You can't out-Kagura him. You can't out-mid him. It's so difficult to go up against Sailor, and when he plays, he's usually stuck in the bush. But with the confidence boost with Gear on the Barats and JPL on the Rafaela, the sustain coming in, Sailor's just showing his face. Gear coming in with the engage.
Yeah, no, I think they're just going to take the turrets for now. They get two, mid as well as the bottom. And now one creep on the top. They're going to clear that up. See, maybe, yeah, no, not going to be able to take that for now. But still, two inhibitors at the 12.5-minute mark. The next lot is spawning in about 50 seconds. Slate is just going to continue making sure that Evil has no way to even walk out of their base.
And this is a very, very classic UGG strategy. They're always staying together, but hold on a second, because Adamir gets caught down. FMM destroys
damage. Yeah, he's taking some damage, but Gear comes in the front line. There's not much charging up, doesn't get propped though. So Slate, well, they've already taken down the top inhibitors, so they've cleared the entirety of Evil's defenses down to the core.
Right now, Slate is just playing a little bit more defensively, but Sailor almost doesn't have
Goodness, that first damage! The powerful comes back with the Endler shards as well, so that's one down on Slate. This is not very timely. 5 seconds on the Lord. Sailor still has 30 seconds to go. Great pick off there by Evil.
Great pick off there, and they have the chance to turn this around. The window is open. Although they're 10k gold behind Slate, they might be able to just pick off one by one. It's easier said than done. JPL has that immortality already. Carrot tries to go for JPL, and he's all alone. But on the back line, though.
Yeah, they try to go for power. Will be able to get him. FMM manages to escape with that bit of health left. So still, they even this up to a 4-4. Going down on JS, forces the flicker, and JPL heals up the rest of the team. 3v4, and they're still able to force Evil into a full retreat.
Zoning them out of the way of that Lord. They're going to take this down and punch down with the enhanced Lord. This is going to be a crashing Lord down to that core. And best be sure, Slate with the Claude is able to go in to the back of the base. He's going to be difficult to target even when it comes down to charging and skirmishing down on their homes.
I mean, look at Melon. Like we said, right, Slate drafted around this so well. He cannot steal very, very game-changing ultimates like he's used to. So this defense is going to be harder for Evil as well, because you're relying on, you know, JS, Carrot to be able to make the plays, find somebody in the back line, hopefully with powerful's burst damage as well. Now they're left to defend this board, coming down the mid. Slate, you know they're gonna push this. JS, Evil, Numenor Blast just used to clear minions, so they cannot set up for anything here. And Slate, they're hovering around. Sailor goes in with the play. Melon in some trouble from placing duet. 3 go down, blown up by Slate, and immediately they go for the core, securing game number 2 for themselves.
GG, well played to Slate Esports. That is a second win. Match point. One more game and Slate solidifies himself over to the grand finals, where they'll be up against, again, RSG SG in the grand finals. Oh man, what a game. But I want to commend this Sailor again, always making the right plays. He's always the one that's initiating and setting up for the rest of the team. Knowing that right time, the rest of the team always comes in. And like, I'm going to steal Holler's line again. Everyone and their moms are always on every single team fights.
Yeah, I mean, it's tough, right? You have to watch out for Sailor. And the thing is, it's not like you play a Kagura and you're going willy-nilly, right? You recognize that the Lord is up. You want to go for a pick-off so that they are outnumbered when it comes to the objective. And I think for this game, not just the objective play, not just the execution, I think it came down right from the start in the draft.
Yeah.
Punishing Evil for that early Valentina pick. But we'll see. Kin, what are your thoughts on this? Let's hear it from you.
I think the draft is definitely one thing, but I would like to highlight something that is fairly important. It's actually the emblem choice by all of these teams, right? I want to highlight FMM because he actually took Avery's support emblem instead of the usual marksman emblem on that cloth. Avery's, for those of you that don't know, allows you to gain extra gold when you hit your opponent hero, right? So he actually, you do have an access to 1,100 gold just by hitting the opponent team, right? And you can see he actually has a very good KDA as well. He built his Malefic Raw, that as well as the Demon Hunter Sword and Wind of Nature pretty early on. I think it was at the 9-minute mark, he already had 2 of these 3 items ready in the pockets, right?
Yeah.
So he was very, very fed. And adding on to that, like we talked about this, the first Immortality is going to help boost that very big advantage for his team. And JPL had that Immortality, so you had super long sustain, you had super long heals as well, and he had the Radiant Armor as well as the Anti-Cuirass. It's so hard to peel away JPL, and you had to deal with the rest of the members on Slate.
Yeah, and I want to say that Evil is building a lot of the offensive items. This is something that they didn't do in their first game. They should just go full damage and try to burst them all the way down. But it's so difficult because you have that Rafaela. With that one Rafaela, especially when you hit that 6 or 7 minute mark where he hits that favor, you're going to have additional heal. It's so hard to take all of them down. Sustain coming in, the tankiness from that Barats, the gear on the Barats, is going to be so hard to be able to pick off or even chip off. You see even Powerful using their ultimate onto Adamir, not dealing a lot of damage.
Yeah, but one more thing I want to note for you guys is the Dominance Ice was actually built at the 9-minute mark by both Carrot and Jace's, which was super late, which means they didn't address JPL's Rafaela all the way until the 9-minute mark.
Yeah, the regeneration is a huge problem for the side of Evil because how can you burst them down if they don't get bursted down and can sustain all the way through? But let's take a look at the kill participation rates from both teams. And it kind of seems like both teams are pretty much equal in terms of who hits who. It's always a 5-on-5 team fight, but Slate is always making the first move onto Powerful, and that is where the pressure is on.
Yep, that's right. The wave management was actually okay for the side of Team Evil. But what happened was that constant pressure by Sayla, JPL, and Gear. That's the thing, right? Normally you would expect Adamir who will be roaming around and making sure that things are difficult along with JPL. But it was Gear who was jumping in as well. He had, I think, a 3-level advantage at one point. And that really just destroyed them because Evil could not initiate their wave management. Nothing could be done and it was just slowly crumbling down.
Yeah, just play as a meat shield and going up. But I want to know your thoughts. Who do you think is going to be the MVP of this matchup?
My guess it's going to be JPL for me. What about you, Scrubby?
Yeah, I think definitely provided that vision as well and the healing for the team to be able to contest a lot of these objectives or rather just take them for free basically, right? But it's going to be Adamir as the MVP, 5-0-6, kill participation of 79% as an EXP laner. I think huge props to him as well for being able to push out JS very early on. I think because of that, Gear also had an easier time in the jungle. You know, JPL maybe didn't have to worry that much about that lane, could put his focus on contesting jungles and making sure to starve out Powerful.
I didn't realize this before, but he's building only the Hunter Strike. That is the only offensive item that he has, but he's able to just melt everyone down. Basically, a Dism Strike is just like an execute. When you're in low health, you're basically just gone on off the map, sent to a tombstone, sent back home to China or something like that.
I mean, he has a built-in ability to lower your physical defense, right?
Yeah, and that's all what they need, right? And then
Exactly.
Gear's going to chip you down bit by bit.
Yeah,
exactly. So when you just lower that defense and put out just using that Hunter Strike, the attacks, it's enough for you to do enough damage.
Yeah, well, that is difficult. Add on the Festival of Blood, right? So he has 12% spell vamp as well as a lifesteal, and that's a super tough guy to deal with.
There's a lot of sustain coming in. Plus, you pair that up with JPL, the ninja just coming the fairy on your shoulders, just always there at the back.
Yeah, we're gonna take a look at the highlights of the match now and see what exactly happened.
Yep, that's right. I think Powerful, suffered quite a lot in this game, but later on they did recover quite a bit. He was supposed to use Sailor as well as JPL as his kind of like canteen, right? Get that nourishment from them. And the problem for them was Gear. Gear as well as Sailor was always able to just push them away. And while they were busy dealing with the two of them, you will see FMM always on the back lines. If he's not farming, he's on the back lines waiting for the opportunity to jump in. And this is just disorientation for the whole side of people, because they couldn't just dive one person. They had to choose what targets they wanted to go for. And I think this miscommunication, even this miss, right, with that Numnon Blast, even at the end game, I think there was a miss as well. It was supposed to be a flicker Numnon Blast as well. It didn't happen. And while, of course, if it landed, it could have delayed the game a little bit, but still, I think this was Slate's game all the way.
Yeah, this was Slate's game all the way from the start. They always tried to invade the jungle, even Powerful had nothing else. There was this one time, even now, you can see Gear was level 15 and Powerful was level 12. I thought this was the win-up opportunity where they picked off Sailor and they could go for it, but the rest of the team weren't ready. They weren't in the position to take any fights. They cannot maintain the momentum going in forward, and this is where the deciding factor, leave FMM alone. When you have someone invading your jungle, all 5 of you have to come in and try to support your core, but that leaves FMM all alone, giving a lot of time and space for him to farm up and just do his thing.
Yeah, you talked about how FMM played Claude with the average, right? I think usually you see average on the Claudes as well because you want to scale faster to the late game, but the thing is the way that he played on this Claude was phenomenal, because you won your lane as a Claude, against a Clint who has a lot of poke, has a lot of damage just from his skills. So I think huge props to that. And the thing is, when you talk about the defense items as well, they were going aggressive Evo with their builds, right? But they didn't have defense. They didn't have maybe Wind of Nature or Coconut to be able to fend off against the Blazing Duet. And so have to really be careful about the positioning as well, not to take too much. And I guess that just makes it a lot harder for them.
Yep, I think it's a flaunting of skills by Team Slate, right? But there's another thing that you can flaunt, and those are the cards that we have right in front of us. This is the Frank by OCBC cards that we have on the table for you. You can take a look at all of them. If you sign up for the Frank by OCBC and MLBB debit card online from now to 9th October, which is today, you can actually choose one of these 5 designs that we have, right? I'm not sure what you have in mind. What is your favorite? Do you guys have any idea what you would want to choose from this?
Well, I'm a jungle main, so probably like the Ling. But
I think the Ling one is the flashiest. That's why it's right smack in the center,
It's
right?
a flex, right? It's a flex. Like, if you can play Ling, it's like, oh man, you're like...
Not just flashy in game, but flashy with your cards too. Why not?
And you have the money as well.
Yep, and that's right. Now, if you are the first 275 eligible applications, you will get a surprise MLBB Epic skin as well. This will be in the form of a redemption code that's worth $25 when you apply, and you must spend $200 at least with your Frank debit card.
Yeah, and we are always wanting to get better, so scan that QR code on that corner right there to give us your feedback and give us suggestions for MPL Season 5. It's gonna be coming up soon, and maybe we'll see you then again, and this will be bigger and this will be better in a neighborhood near you.
Yeah, we're just getting started with Season 4, right? Still kind of in infancy, right?
Yeah.
For us as a market here in MPL, but we want to get better. So we need your feedback to improve. Scan the QR codes, and don't forget, join us here at our Tampines Hub. We are live as well. You can check out all the booths, all the people in person, and catch the live event action.
Yeah.
We are going to go for a break in just a bit as well, but sit tight. You can also use the break to come down here if you haven't already made your way.
You're 10 minutes traveling from all the way across to the country at our Tampines Hub. And we'll see you there.
Yep, so just hang tight.
What's going on, ladies and gentlemen? Welcome back to MPL Season 4 in Singapore. If you're at home watching, a very, very good afternoon. Actually, is it still morning? I don't know already. I don't know already. But ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to MPL SG Season 4. My name is Churros. With me here is Scrubby Cheeks and Kintofu at your service today. We are in the midst of an intense battle, a best of 5 between Slate Esports and Evil, Team Evil, and this will be game number 3.
Yeah, this is the Knights of Past Glory. The Knights of Past Glory looking to reclaim a lost kingdom for themselves up against the touted Titan Slayers, People's Champions. You hear so much cheers on site, live here at our Tampines Hub for Team Evil, right? So you know both of these teams have a lot of fans cheering for them. High stakes of the game. Game number 3, potentially match point. So this is Evil's game to lose. They really have to claw back this one. In case you missed it, right now it's a 2-0. So your thoughts, Kin?
Well, I think my thoughts are not important now because I want to hear from the Slate fans. Slate, you're 2-0 at this point. One more game and you get to fight for the throne again. Let me hear how you feel. Slate fans in the house. 3, 2, 1, let's go! All right, pretty strong. But now, Evil, you're down. Your team needs you. Evil fans, where are you?
They're right there. I'm pointing at them.
Yeah, they're all around this place.
Surround sound.
Surround sound. So with this, like you said, this is a very important match for Team Evil, right? We have a lot of things that we're analyzing as well behind the scenes. I think right now, Evil needs to get their mind straight. They need to have this mental composure, right? Yes, your back's against the wall. This is potentially the last game you get to play in this season. But that also means that you get to throw out all of your aces, show your trump card, right? This is the time to do it. Put up the strong performance. Even if it's not going to be easy for you, you always give it a try.
Yeah, going in straight to the draft. Slate going in for the respect bands of the Bauman as well as the Lolita, respecting Powerful and Carrot. That is their win condition. Don't give them what they're super comfortable with in running you over. And on the side of Evil, they're respecting FMM a lot. You see, especially in the late game, FMM with the 1-1, with the Claude, is able to pummel you down bit by bit by bit. Is able to melt, especially when you give a lot of time. And Slate, what they did really effectively is try to distract the team, to distract Team Evil into going into the jungle, trying to commit to fights that they can't take. And that is where FMM is going to be happily farming up at Farmville.
Yep, I mean, if you look at the draft and bans so far by Slate and Evil, Slate knows that Evil are dying. They do not want to give them a chance. So choking them out, they're going to take away the Lolita, one of Carrot's favorite heroes to play. They're going to take out the Balmont as well. That double retreat, no more easy steals for you, no more objectives. It will come in an easy place as well. So I'm really liking this from Slate, and you can tell just by the bans itself, they want to kick Evil out with a 3-0 scoreline. But yeah, Evil, you don't count them out. We know Evil. Evil can come back from the dead. I mean, Evil is never gone, right? So they're going to take out the Diggy. So no Diggy for JPL, no 1-1 for FMM. Now we're gonna take a look at the third ban, which is the Paquito. Paquito, one of JS's very strong champions that he has used
and
across
powerful.
the season. Yep, exactly. So really liking this, and they're gonna get rid of the Dyrov as well on the side of Evil. What do you think about this?
Well, Slate has done a phenomenal job in using Evil strategy and fighting against them. The aggression coming in from Slate is seen in the first game, and they do pick up that Akai, which is true to their nature, fighting fire with fire. They're going down. Which fire is the stronger fire? And even with the Akai, it's going to be able to zone out a lot of the objectives. And on the side of Evil, Faramis and the Valentina is picked up. Evil, the time for games is over.
Yep, we have seen this drop already. Evil have played this exact composition before, the Faramis and Valentina. They absolutely destroyed the opposition with this. Right. So Gear, yes, he does have the Archive, but now I want to see what Evil pairs up with Melon and Carrot. Now, Diggy's banned, so you know, the Atlas is still open. Not that it's available for Evil. If they're gonna pick an Atlas, it's a super huge risk for them, right? So now I want to see Esmeralda as well as the Phobius. Sailor Phobius, we have seen it already. They played this against RSG SG yesterday, and we know it's it's a god fist, right? It's a hammer laid down, the smackdown. This is the judgment towel for them.
Okay, I love this Phobia's pick and paired it up with the Akai. Once you use the heavy spin, every single time the Beyblade hits you or the whirlwind hits you and knocks you back, that is where Sayla is. That's key. I'm going to jump right in. And another one, and another one. Best be sure Sayla is going to be on your backs. He's going to be riding you and jumping on you like no tomorrow. The Grasshopper is here. And now Powerful is going to be answered back with the Karina. And right now, I want to talk a little bit about the Evil's draft. They have the Valentina, they have the Paramis, and we know that these two heroes, they pair up very well with Atlas or the Estes, which is still viable at this point because Valentina has been seen to be played by Jaces in the EXP lane, and pretty well, I might add, into that. So we are moving on to the second phase of the bans, and right now, both teams do not have their marksmen just yet. And on the side of Slate, it is still pretty much flexible. We've seen Esmeralda being played at the roam position. We've seen Akai being played at the roam position. We want to pair up with Sayla to roam around the map. And right now, it seems as though all they need right now is damage, damage, damage. Get heroes with a lot of burst potential.
Yep, I think the way that Slate can make use of this composition is to suck everyone into a black hole. And the perfect marksman to complement this composition that they have is actually Cloud again. With the Blazing Duet, it's going to suck everyone in, get that Blazing Duet down, and with Phobius jumping in and out of the fight, as well as that Falling Star Moon by Adamir, it's going to be a very difficult composition that Evo has to fight into. Yes, they have access to a Cult's Altar. Yes, they have access to the IMU. But, it doesn't matter because at this point, Slate has more options and more utilities to burn in comparison to what Evo has. They have 2 times get out of jail free card, but how long can that save you for? Bear in mind, you still have to deal with FMM, you still have to deal with JPL, and it's going to be difficult. So looking at Coconut and Jaces, I'm really left stranded in my thoughts because this looks like a very strong draft from the side of Slate.
Very, very strong draft. A lot of crowd control capabilities coming up, but you do lack damage. Bruno is a very good pick because with Sayla, you're able to zone out that backline from Evo, and best be sure, Evo is going to have a very, very strong backline, and they're going to be coming to you. You have Adamir and you're right there. I was going to say Franco will be a very, very good pick for JPL, but is off the tables for both teams. And right now, all they need, Akai is still a flexible position. It can be used in the hands of JPL, and what gear could pick up potentially is maybe a Thamus, try to complete that trifecta, try to pull back enemies, and every single time that there's a mobility skill or a dash skill, let's be sure Sayla is going to be jumping on you.
Your team is picking.
Coconut is going to get his hands on the Bruno for the first time in this best of 5 series. Has been denied in the first 2 games, but I think Slate fully comfortable to let Coconut go with that Bruno because Bruno has to stand in the back lines together with Carrot and Melon, and that's the perfect setup for them to use the second skill of Phobius to activate his ultimate as well. And once that is gathered up, you have Adamir who can use that Falling Star Moon to jump in. And if that's not enough, you have Gear with the heavy spin again to just lock everyone in place.
Yeah, let's not discount Evo just yet. Right now, Evo does have Valentina, who's able to pick up the Akai's heavy spin ultimate, but Slate does pick up a very, very strong and consistent marksman in that Clint. JPL goes back to basics with the Matilda. You have a very, very good kit right here. Go in and out of team fights, go straight for that back line. This is going to be a semi-dive composition coming in from Slate with a lot of sustained potential. This is a very, very intimidating draft coming in from Slate now. And right now, off the bat, I'm favoring them. They're fighting a lot of sustained potentials or Slate Esports is fighting the dive or burst potential coming in from Evil with their sustained draft. And the last pick goes to Jaces on that Benedetta, which has been done very phenomenally or even extremely well during the regular season. We've seen him play this Benedetta and just shredding onto the back line. This was the hero that I think killed off Slate.
Yep, so with that, this is going to be potentially the final game of our series for our best of 5. The fans of Slate, fans of Evil, let us know that you're here as we go into what's potentially Slate's winning game.
Love the energy coming. and you know this is it, right? You might see the last game here for Evil because they really need to come back in this one. Will they be able to do it? The drafts are locked and loaded, both from the side of Evil, taking one last look as well as Slate before we hop into the land of Dawn.
This is a very, very balanced draft from both teams. Both teams have picked up a dive or burst composition, and it's very aggressive, especially into the early stages of the game. So we might be able to predict or see that both teams are going to be on opposite sides of their jungle, just farming up the opponent's jungles. And this is something that would be funny to watch, but then again, JPL always knowing where Powerful is, because once Powerful is there, Gear is going to be backing up real soon.
He's so good at giving vision, right? JPL, whether it be on the Matilda or on the Cho that we saw in a previous game yesterday as well. So insane, and that is very, very vital information. In the meantime, you can see JS pressuring down a little bit. You know he's so good at this Benedetta, and the thing is, I like that Evil, this time it feels like Benedetta might be a backup plan, right? It might be a plan B. If everything, you know, kind of falls apart, you still have that ability to split push, make the cross-map plays, and force Slate to respond.
Yeah, in the regular season, Slate lost to Evil because of Jace's Benedetta. Remember, Jace's just went onto the backdoor thing and just took down that core. That was what cost Slate that victory over there. But then they came back, so they do have that potential. But JPL, he's a ninja. He's always knowing where everyone is, and it's just giving a lot of information to the side of Slate. This is not really a game of like macro plays, because we know that both teams know what to do. It's a team of control. Vision control, map control. And JPL, he is building damage. I mean, take a look at Impure Rage, the spell that he's got on himself. This guy is looking for blood.
That's surprising. You know, I wasn't expecting Impure Rage on Matilda. Usually maybe you would opt for a support emblem, but let's see how he uses that here. Knocks up JS here, has to back out away from this turtle. Powerful as well, just no space for him to come in and contest that JPL. This is what the damage is built for.
Yeah, this is the damage indeed, almost taking it out. It's going to be a very, very scary Matilda, but it is a gamble though, because if you build a Impure Rage every single time, every 10 seconds, it's illegal. Melon causes that push away from the pin.
Yep, already used here, trying to contest the jungle. JS has to back out again, but Gear pins him all the way. The Cold Altar is used to mitigate that damage, but will it be enough? Sayla clutches the first blood in his hands. The Polka pin from the Shadow Stampede, not enough. Carrot goes down as well, and Powerful trying to chase down, gets JPL once even more. No, chooses to back out for now, so they will be okay. They trade out 2 for 1.
Okay, Phobius seems like a soft counter to Faramis, because Faramis using the Call Altar needs all the teams to be together. But let's take a moment and look at all of these items. First, the Karina on this Demon player, able to take down jungle, but hold on a second here, Adamir down low.
Lysis and Dices, the shield does not keep him alive. Oh my goodness! The turret damage isn't enough to shut down JS just yet. This man, that slippery slide gets him away from that 1 kill. Adamir goes down for naught.
That is a 1-to-1 trade, but favoring the side of Jace's, you need Jace's to scale up. Adamir, he knows that he's having problems in the bottom lane, in the EXP lane, but Gear pushes Carrot back. Not gonna engage.
Not yet, just not yet. They want to contest again the objectives, right? Starve Powerful as much as possible from whatever farm, whatever buffs that he can get. Coconut, oh my goodness! The flame shot will secure him, put him down in the dirt. Carrot with the Shadow Stampede again. It's too little too late. You pulled JPL, but there's nothing you can get out of that. And now Slate, they have full control over this next turtle, spawning in about 10 seconds.
Sayla with the 3-pointer. Man, okay, Sayla is soft countering Carrot in everything he does. Once Call Altar is pulled up, you need people to be coagulated together. But remember, his first skill splits up. It's sort of like it bounces from hero to hero to hero. So when they're together, Sayla is like, yeah. That's it, but bot side.
Again, Powerful. Does he get it? Yes, I think he does for once this time, but Adamir chases JS down. Will he get it? Sayla, oh my goodness! Making the plays here, does manage to put JS in the dirt. In the meantime, I think Slate, they got another free turtle on their hands. So far, they've been really keeping up this gold lead now to about 2,000.
pressure's on. All eyes are on Sayla. Where is he? He's always there. Every single time there's an almost kill, Sayla is always there for backup. Circling Eagle onto Carrot, pulls JPL in. That's just to give vision for the team. 4 members of Eagle who just have to go down. Powerful.
Looking to punish, goes on JPL. Sayla here for the backup. Not enough. JS bursts him down. Call Alder is popped now. Melon pops the heavy spin, steals it away, trying to find somebody, but does not. And now Evo on the retreat. Adamir, the Electo final blow with Melon will be able to put him in a coffin. Gear goes down together with that. Sayla tries to make the plays, but no compensation as of yet. Shadow Stampede pulls it back. The damage comes through the Terrify. JS will shut him down. Double kill for JS.
That was a misplay potential from Slate. They know that JPL is going in, but there is no backup whatsoever. JPL a little bit too confident right there. He should have backed out sooner.
Oh, this was, well, that was back and forth, right? And Evil, they finally seem to have something in their hands at this moment. It wasn't a complete run over by Slate as opposed to the previous games. Now, we're going to take a look at the items that they have been building up thus far.
Okay, Sayla already building up that Clock of Destiny. He knows that, okay, let's play into the late game. We will need a lot of sustainability going through that. But let's take a look at the marksmen. How are they faring? Berserker's Fury already built up for Coconut, and on the other side, Endless Battle, and almost a Blade of Despair. FMM already farming up. We haven't seen FMM just yet in a lot of the team battles, so I'm really excited to see what this guy is about to do.
For sure. I mean, you know, with the Endless Battle, he starts to put up some damage as well, so now he's joining this turtle fight at the top side. We're going to see what they can potentially pull off. It's kind of, they sent Adamir down to the EXP to go up against Coconut, but the Circle Eagle onto Carrot, starts up the fight, secures the turtle. FMM gets it, called Alter, pop Evil. Will they be able to escape? Sayla dives into the backline, the Demonic Force pounding down one by one onto Melon. Is it enough? Flickers out the flame shot comes in. Again, he has nowhere to go, and Sayla will secure that one.
Oh, Sayla with the 3-point shot yet again. Man, this guy is a shooter. He's jumping out, making the plays, making the setups. He's splitting up Evil all one by one. Even if you have called Alter, there's nothing much that you can do. You kill me twice, yeah, sure, because I'm able to out-sustain your called Alter. What about that?
And I have a shield, but you know what? Doesn't matter. I'm going to pop a flame shot, get you from long range. Insane. Again, going on the Demonic Force back line. Powerful gets stunned out in the front as well. That split up fight. Gear pins down Carrot. He goes down. The Beyblade put out by Melon as well. They try to disengage.
Sayla.
But Sayla! This guy is insane! A triple kill for him on this Phobius. This is why you have to give respect to this guy on the hero.
That's why you should respect, man, his Phobius. Man, let's take a look at the replay. Let's see, he's splitting the enemies up. Jace is going back underneath the turret, but Sayla, let's go for it. He's able to sustain everything. Carrot down low, he goes yet again. He's on his own every single time he goes in, and that split, that balance potential, securing that triple kill, putting 3 of them in tombstones.
Oh my goodness, and the shields coming out on him as well. There is nothing that Evil can do. They do not have an answer to this. He's so fed at this moment. 7, 1, and 2 just snowballing ahead. And you know, it's not to say that the rest of the members of Slate are not doing anything. Look, they've kept up the EXP lead as well.
It kind of seems like Sayla's done with this. Let's just win this game. Let's get some rest before the next game at 4 o'clock and at our Tampines Hub. So if you're watching at home, just come down here to see more of Sayla. But Sayla, man, this guy, it seems as though the scales are tipping a lot towards the side of Slate. But Evo, they do have the potential if Melon picks up that right ultimate. But what? If you just pick up that heavy spin, you're just going to be able to zone out everyone except Sayla, and Sayla's just going to run straight to the backline. What I suggest is that Melon take in Sayla's ultimate. Do what they do, fight fire with fire. Just jump right into their backline and get FMM.
Again, this is the draft, right? Oh my god, again, they're starting up this fight called Alter Pop. Silence down because of the ultimate. They cannot escape. Slate is here to split up the fight.
Oh.
JS goes down. Sailor chops him down.
Sayla!
Again! Demonic Force will put him in the dirt. He might go down here. Finally, they get some revenge onto him. But my goodness, this is just dominating.
What just happened right there. This man was just fountain farming, just going into their base. He's sustaining through so much. It doesn't matter if he goes down because both of the tier 2 turrets and the side of Evil is down. But if you look at Slate, only one turret goes down, and Sayla is burning so much. His Phobius is just there. Jason is in.
They're trying to make something happen here. Gear Isolate's powerful. He can't do anything at this point. He's taken down, and that's a huge member down. They can't. The top turret is being pushed in as well. This is looking very, very dire for Evil.
And at all this time, FMM just happily farming. This is what FMM does best. FMM doing FMM things. If there's no fight to be had, let's just farm up. Let's just get that damage. And now another fight ensues.
Oh, JS, he tries to dive in the backline. Will get bursted down by Adamir and FMM. He is stepping up right now. JBL circling Ego. Goes to the backline. Will get Coconut. The cult altar is popped up. To what extent? Yes, a double kill finally for Evil here. They're stepping up, defending this base. Coconut just trying to clear up the lanes at the top.
That was a sacrificial body from Sayla on that Phobius as well as JPL, because what they did was they took down that mid lane and bottom lane turrets. They're just zoning out the members of Evil. And let's take a look at the items real quick. Let's take a look at all our hyper carries right now. Phobius on that side, he has built up the Lightning Truncheon. He's going for damage. He's not going for tank anymore. Maybe a Dominance Ice tries to build up right there, but let's take a look at the marksmen right now. Clint and Bruno, both of them are at pretty much equal footing, but Clint is getting, he has 3 core items and a little bit of a friendly recall dancer right there from Gear and Powerful.
I mean, it's just so distracting, you know, seeing both of them, but there's a reason, right? They're trying to wait for this jungle, contest it, and there you go. Gear stealing that away from Powerful.
Sayla is just doing Sayla things. He's getting the purple buff off him so that he's able to jump more. He knows that his first skill is based on stacks. Build that stacks up and try to slam as many times as possible because Evil is going to be coagulated together, and they need to be coagulated together because of Carrot. But Melon, all he needs to do is get the right ultimates. But what ultimates? But Sayla seems tasty, but Gear seems very defensive. So what do you want to do? Go defensive or go aggressive? Evil needs to make their choice, and they need to make it quick because the Lord dance is ensuing.
I mean, that's what they've been doing so far. They've been forced to use their ultimates in a defensive manner, be it the cult altar, be it the heavy spin on Gear. And so, I mean, again, look at that. JPL going in aggressively. Will they be able to punish? Powerful goes in. Cult altar is popped. They force a retreat. JS, he was trying to make sure that the lanes are pushed up, but he has to join the fight. Goes to the back line, but FFM bursts him down. And now Adam here zones out all the members of Evil. FFM will secure that one. 2 down on the side of Evil. Slate, they want to close this Melon. Will they be able to get it? Terrified will push them back for now. Slate, they're on the hunt. The game is about to close with the creeps. FMM, he wants to focus on the creep. Gear goes in with a heavy spin, pushes Carrot and Powerful back. They have to flicker. Melon pops the same. Isolates FMM, but the first damage coming in will be able to put him down. And now the core, half HP. Carrot, Shadow Stampede, blown up here. And Sayla popping the demonic first damage coming in. Coconut will be able to get revenge, but it doesn't matter. Slate going to the grand finals.
Slate, the revenge match against RSG SG and Slate is going to be happening in the grand finals, man. What a game. What a game.
What a game. What a game. This was so dominant coming out from Slate. You know, you thought at first, okay, Phobius pick, let's respect it. But no. Yeah, it was not just that. It was Sayla again and again. So just forcing them to back. There was nothing. Like, Evil did not have an answer to this.
That was such an underrated hero. And take a look at the fans. They are happy. They're going to be seeing Slate again later. But good job, Evil. That was a very, very good journey. Came up from the bottom. Now you're here. Now you're in top 3. We'll be seeing more of you guys again soon. And we love you guys. We love the fans right here. A lot of energy and a lot of potential.
I mean, look, Evil, they made it so far, you know. We were saying they community team, right? All along we've been saying that, but the Dark Horses, and again, they made it through all the way to the top 3.
Exactly.
This is a huge achievement for them, and just huge props to them. At the end of the day, though, there's going to be only one winner. You can see the teams now bumping fists for a good gameplay.
Yeah. Enemies on the battlefield in the land of dawn, but friends outside. I mean, we were having an interview during our media day, and we were talking powerful, and then like, hey, what's your goal for this season? Hey, top 2, man. And then he told me he want to go top 2. It's top 3. It's much better than last season. They were top 6, and then they go into top 3. So like, man, top 3 for Evil. But congratulations, Slate.
Yeah,
Have a good break.
Yeah,
we'll see you again soon.
I mean, the marathon is just beginning, right? That being said, though, I mean, let's still talk a bit, about what went down, what exactly happened in this game-ending match, Kin.
Yep, it's just a simple outdraft. I mean, I'm gonna just oversimplify it, but it was an outdraft all the way by Slate, right? Yes, there was a bit of a skirmish in the mid-game, but I think that's perfectly in Slate's plans. Now, if you take a look at the itemization, I want to talk about FMM. I mean, Endless Battle, BOD, Malefic Raw, Berserker's Crit. That is quite the painful character you have on FMM. And while that is happening, he's only one of the many win conditions that they had. They had Gear with the heavy spin who could push members of Evil around, activating Sailor's ultimate. They have Anime as well, and paired it up with JPL with that Eagle ultimate as well. So with that, they actually forced Evil to kind of build more defensively, and you can see Evil tried to play a bit more aggressive. They wanted to be a bit more greedy. If the Scarlet Phantom on Coconut, you had the Endless Battle on him as well. He managed to build up the Berserker's Fury as well, but it was not enough because everyone else was being knocked down by Sailor.
Yeah, and Slate, they do have like late game insurance in FMM. They only decided to push him in at the last minute, and it worked out so well. 7-0 and 4. He gets so much time to farm and so much good itemizations, forcing Evil to play something that's uncomfortable. Let's take a look at the post-game statistics right now with the damage dealt. Man, that is almost more than half of, more than 2 times of what Evil dealt. Slate dealing 2,504,000 damage in a short span of time, 13-minute game.
Yep, I mean, let's be honest, right? This game, Slate just massacred Evil across the entire match itself, and it's all props to Sailor. This Phobius pick, one of the picks that, a lot of teams in MPL have ignored, but Slate has been one of the teams to consistently pull out this Phobius, and I think that is a very heavy win condition for them. Now, there's no question about who the MVP is going to be, right? Really, no question. I'm not even going to talk about who the potential MVP is. But the setup around him, right, to activate his ulti was so insane by the rest of Slate. So with that, I really have to commend, right, Youngin, the coach for Slate.
Yeah.
The brains behind this guy, I mean, mad respect, man. The fact that you can see multiple layers in not just the champion choices, the hero choices, but the itemization as well is really crazy.
The many-time MVP behind the scenes that we don't talk about, right?
Yep.
But we're going to see for this game at least who the MVP was.
Yeah.
Surprise, surprise! It's going to be Sailor, of course, no doubt about
Someone
it.
Photoshop his face onto Phobius because this guy is just embodying this guy. And he has so many signature picks. How do you ban him? How do you outban him?
I mean, his hero pool is just so big, right? And it's difficult. 9, 4, and 5 on this Phobius, 78% kill participation. Look at that. The damage items, well, just the blade armor as well to help him out, but just, I don't have words.
I have, and that ridiculous flame shot. My goodness, how many flame shots that have we seen in this match itself? Sailor, godlike with this Phobius. I mean, I'm excited because one thing for sure, yes, they have made their way. The Knights of Past Glory, this is the time to shine, right? They will be going up against their bitter rivals, RSG SG later. We have seen the best of 5 yesterday.
Yeah.
Now here comes the true test, the best of 7. So, I mean, Slate, they are ready for this. This draft was extremely crazy.
Yeah, and I mean, this is going to be a very, very long game. Sailor did so well in this one, but the rest of the team, giving them a lot of time to rest into the next game. And they have to think and re-strategize, what do we do with RSG SG? Now that the game against Evo is over, let's take some time, regroup, and re-strategize, because the new strategy for what went well yesterday or what went wrong, let's try to think around that.
Yep.
Yeah, for sure. For now, though, we're going to take a look at the highlights, see what happened again in this match.
Yep, the start of the game was pretty, rocky for the side of Evo. As we all know, this composition thrives on movement. As long as anyone is displaced, that gives Sayla the ability to jump over and over again. And this was, complemented by the fact that you have people like here who is playing the heavy spin. So what if you have the Cult Alter? So what if you have the IMU, right? The entire lineup of Evo was just thrown to the ground 6 feet under by Phobius.
Yeah. And he's created this meta, the Phobia's mid. It's so him, it's so Slate, and it's always this unorthodox picks that destroys everything. That flame shot pushing in and giving him a lot more time to jump up. It doesn't matter if the heavy spin pushes him back. His job is done. Just zone out the members all the way to their base. There's nothing much they can do. If you want to recall, what do you recall for? Where do you recall to?
Yep, exactly. And the fact that, the focus was on Sayla all the way, and FMM only joined the fight later on, and he was no slouch as well. He had three core items that were based on full damage, and there's no way that Evo could have, recovered from that.
Yeah, but this one though, I mean, FMM could have just taken down the core without the help of the Lord, but like, they just wanted to go for kills. Just wanted to submit their dominance in this game.
Yeah, I mean, they played so hot. Gears having a fever.
Yeah, if you didn't see and missed that, he has a patch on his head, right? So, I don't know. They are really turning the heat up. It's already hot and humid here, right? But they're turning the heat up.
I'm sweating.
Yep, we have Churros who is always sweating because it's getting really intense down here at our Tampines hub. But of course, with that, we have to prepare ourselves mentally. I'm quite thankful that we don't do the best of 7 straight away right after this.
We get to watch the intense matches.
Yeah. So now we will have the fans of RSG SG as well as the fans of Slate. But altogether, fans of MLBB and MPL Singapore as well coming down. It is going to be packed, it's going to be hot, it's going to be intense. And we can't wait to see what's going to happen in this grand finals.
What I want to do is I want to create an earthquake. I want to create an earthquake in our Tampines hub. Everyone coming down here just cheering as loud as you can every single time there's an intense moment, and make the ground shake. Make all of them from the other side just come in to here and make everyone enjoy the game of MLBB.
Yeah, I mean, at our Tampines hub, we're tucked away in a pretty, comfy, cozy corner, but if you all make your way down here, we're gonna make a whole big scene out of this that everyone's gonna flock to this corner just to see what's happening. It's already been like that. Yesterday we had the very, very intense match between Slate and RSG. Lots of people. So this is history repeating itself. Potentially, you don't want to miss it. Definitely make your way down live at our Tampines hub.
Yep. Now, we need to announce other champions as well. We are taking a look at the MPL Predictor. You guys, 5 of you have actually given the most creative comments in our social media accounts. So let's take a look at their names. Oh, okay, I can't read their names.
Okay, Rafi, Lamosti, Bonaparte, Birdie, is that Birdie Ghost like Smurf account right there? Zion, Ezekiel, and RJ, congratulations to all of you. What this means to me is that all these names, they sound very foreign. It's so good that MPL Singapore Season 4 is going out internationally. It's going out to other countries. They're coming in to watch here. And we are always getting better with MPL SG. I mean, this is just Season 4. It is still too early in the pregnancy to say whether it's a boy or a girl, right? So like, tell us what you want to see. Tell us what you want more in this QR code right here. Right here. There. Scan that QR code, tell us your feedback, tell us your criticisms. We'll take it, we'll take everything, and we'll always get to know more. Just come down to Tampines Hub if you're in Singapore, because there's lots of prizes to be won for the audience. There's a lucky draw right here, lots of boosts from OSIM as well as Frank by OCBC, and lots of boosts by the teams like Slate Esports as well as RSG SG, who's coming down later up to set up. So get your jerseys, get your groove on, because it's going to be intense.
Yeah, bring your wallets and bring the cards if you have them, right? If you haven't, don't worry, you can sign up for them down here. There's plenty of time for you to do so. Now, with that, I think we need to take a break. So let's throw it back all the way to our beautiful host, Cheryl Yao.
Take it away, Cheryl.
And there you have it, ladies and gentlemen. Now we have our top 2 teams right here for MPL SG Season 4. And next up, that's going against the defending champions of RSG SG is now revealed as Slate. And here I have the brains behind Slate as well as team captain. So the brains would be Youngin, and we have team captain of Adamir right beside me. We do have so many burning questions for you guys. Now, this one, you wanted Youngin to take this question, right? So, Youngin, this one is to you. Game 1 had some shaky moments. Who popped off to secure the win?
Yeah, so definitely the reason why Adamir wanted me to answer this question because he wanted me to say him. Yeah, which is true. Don't get me wrong. I think in the first game we realized that the Uranus actually the moment once he hit his power window, he'll be able to pop off, and he did exactly what he needed to. And because Adamir also give a lot of respect to JS because. Back then in the regular season, you know, he maybe got dominated a little bit. So coming to this matchup, he was a bit, he gave the opponent a lot of respect. And throughout the series, he actually made sure that he kept up his confidence and actually popped off.
Yes, that was beautiful. And of course, also beautiful that Adamir don't want to own self, you know. He dedicated this to Youngin to give him that shout out. So that's great. So now the next question is for you, really now. So Slate Esports secured the series 3-0. Is there a bigger reason for this 3-0 victory? Because up next, if you guys, you know, anticipate that you would win, it's not a sprint anymore compared to regular season. This is a whole different marathon. So is there a reason why this 3-0 win? Okay, so you guys secured this 3-0. Is there a bigger reason, like a more macro reason behind this 3-0 victory?
I think we were looking for a 3-0 because it will provide us with more time to rest so that we can perform better during the RSG series. So I think it's quite crucial for us to have finished this series quite fast.
So you guys better rest up. And maybe for the viewers who were expressing a lot of concern for our dear Gear, how is Gear doing? Like he had a fever patch and everything. Is he unwell, or is it just the weather, or he bunkai already? Someone needs to know.
Gear is having a headache, but he's resting now, so I'm sure that he will do well for the RSG series.
All right, so send your thoughts and prayers to Gear, but he still performed superbly in the first match today. Now, next question. And this is also for you, Adamir. How does Slate feel after this best of 5 series? And what are your thoughts on Evil, given them being such a young team without any resources? How do you feel that they did?
I think first I would like to talk about Evo. So I feel that Evo has actually put out a very good performance considering that they are player base without any coach or sorts. So I think they're actually doing quite well, and as you can see, they are improving every MPL season, and they are proving to be quite a strong team, you know. So I'm looking forward to future seasons to see how well they'll perform.
Wow, so that is very, very heartening to hear. Thank you so much, Adamir, for your kind words. That's really very inspiring, you know, for any teams in the community that wants to come play professional. Evo really shows that it is possible for anyone to, you know, be on the stage and play with professionals like any organization. So that's really wonderful. So next up to Youngin. This one is like as though my personal question. Is your book going to shine in all its glory in the match against RSG? Tease us a little bit. I know you don't want to reveal everything, but what can your fans, what can audiences anticipate in the best of 7 that's coming up next?
Yeah, so there's a reason why I brought a book in, because I actually need a whole book to look through everything. Yeah, so that's number 1. I think number 2 is ever since the regular season, we have already I approach it with a more testing basis. That's why you guys see during regular season, we tend to stick towards some type of drafts. But during playoffs, even today, I think the series against Evo, you could tell that we knew how to prepare against them. And yesterday, I actually wished for it to actually go to 5 games so that we had the most information available for sure. So with this in mind, look forward to the BO7.
Yes, we are all looking forward to the BL7 now. And finally, perhaps, for both of you guys, this question. What are your feelings on facing RSG SG not once, not twice, but for the third time this time round? What are your thoughts?
Definitely, I think after the BO5 yesterday, I think we had a mental block maybe in the first game because coming from regular season, I think both games we lost. So very obviously in the first game yesterday, I could still feel a mental block from the team. But once we started to get the ball rolling, we kind of know that we are on par and even at times can be better. So definitely this will be a good fight.
Right, and Adamir, what about you? What are your thoughts?
I'm excited to fight RSG again because I like to 1v1 Diablo.
1v1 Diablo. Alright, so you're gonna use his heroes against him, or you're just gonna let him play what he plays?
Or just beat him at his own game.
Oh, those are some strong words. Now we can only anticipate. Meanwhile, please have a good rest. We will see you guys at 3:30. May the best team win. Thank you so much, gentlemen, for your time. That was absolutely amazing, ladies and gentlemen. That was the brains behind Slate, and we have team captain as well of Youngin as well as Adamir, respectively. What a day, ladies and gentlemen. Later on at 3:30 p.m., this is the match, ladies and gentlemen, where we will crown the champion of MPL SG Season 4, and that will be match 2. And this is RSG SG, our defending champions, going head-to-head with Slate, which will be happening at 3:30 p.m., and we'll see you there.